How's everyone? How are y'all tonight? A little late getting started. I'm sorry. Hi, Miss Sweet Eve, the first here. Thank you. Little Deb, hello, hello. How are you? Mandy will be up here in just a minute. She's just running behind, and hopefully share if the house isn't quiet and they haven't gone to bed yet. And there's Cher. There is Cher. I hope everybody's night is going well. Hi, Sue. How are you? Come on in. Come on in. We'll talk about summer. Give everybody a little chance to get in, and Mandy a chance to get up here and share if she can, and whoever can join us. She's in chat up there a little further up. Can y'all hear me okay? I wasn't sure if y'all could. It's a little windy here. We're getting a storm, so it hasn't gotten here yet, so it's quite windy here today. Hi, Mimi Jean. Hi, Patty. Whose channel? Are you talking about whose channel is coming up here? Maybe Voices, maybe Cher will be up here if she can, if it's not too late. It may be too late. Mark might have to work tomorrow. We don't want to keep him awake. Hopefully Cher, if she can. I know Mandy will be here. I'm not sure if Justin will make it. He said he would try, but I'm not sure if he'll make it. But I know Mandy's going to be here. You're welcome. I just want to make sure I answered you correctly. See, make sure I got everybody. I think so. I think I said hello to everyone. Has everyone had a great day? It's warming up here. It's going to be hot pretty soon. You not had a good day, Mimi Jean? Or it's not hot there? Is it cold there? I hope you've had a good day. It's been boring? Well, boring. An okay day, yeah, I have those days too. I have those days too. Next week is spring break, and the kids will be out. Well, the kids around here will be out, so my grandkids will be out of school next week. It doesn't seem like it should be spring break already. 78 degrees. I think that's what it was here, too. It was quite warm today. I'm pretty sure it was in the 70s. At least, has it been cold there? Are you tired of snow and cold weather? So they said it got 80 today. I did not realize it got that high, but now that I look back, it's supposed to be 83 tomorrow. Hot water tank was leaking. No, I hate that. Got that fixed. Then the gas light went out. Ugh. See, I have a propane hot water heater, so I get it. Yeah, I get it. Those things can be hard to light back up, and you got to be careful. Hey, Carla Barnes, nice to see you. Glad you're here. Not in Minnesota. It was nice. 83 sounds nice. Yep, that's what it's supposed to be tomorrow. So I don't know if you looked in my description. I am planning on. I want to do some more um, summer. Hey, Wolfie, good to see you. Hey, sis. I want to do some more live streams on summer because I feel like there's some more stuff I'd like to cover about her. Because we're almost at the end of her timeline, and we're going to be going over a lot of some stuff that we've already went over, but we'll probably be going over it in more in depth, looking at other videos. But if you would like me to do more summer live streams, like continue on with them, just let me know. You can tell me here, or you can leave it in a comment. But I'm gonna at least try to do a couple of more of summer because I think it's been a little bit, and I want to keep her out there. So I would like to do a couple of more live streams on her. So just let me know in chat or you can leave me a comment or whatever if y'all would like to see some more live streams on summer. I was gonna do a poll. I may do a poll in my well, if I can get it out in my post on YouTube. I may do a poll and see what everybody likes. Hi Tay, how are you? You sent me a message in Messenger. Okay, I have been so busy this week. I'm sorry I haven't really looked at it, but I will look at it. Oh, you did send me one. Okay, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna check on these. Okay, and I'm gonna read this, Tay, and then I may be able to talk about that in the next stream. But thank you very much for that. I'm sorry, I just now got to see it. Do you want Mimi Jean? You say yes, more summer. Okay. I hope I have some free time tomorrow. I don't like to say that out loud because sometimes when I do, I don't get it. It kind of scares things, and then I don't get the free time. Very interesting about the boots too that you put in there, Tay. I will definitely look at that. Raiding your snack pantry. What are you having? Wolfie, I know you got some good snacks. Because I know Brother Bill bought some good stuff. Brother B buys the good stuff. Patty, I'm sorry, I just now seeing. I'm looking through the comments. Yes, Summer, really. Yes, I agree. I will do more live streams on her. I was not sure if this will be the 7th, so I wasn't quite sure. But after I thought about it today and I started going through some stuff, I really would like to do some more on her. Okay, I will look at it here in a little bit when Mandy gets up and we start looking at the videos and discussing it, and I'll see if I can do that. I appreciate you letting me use that. Thank you. Tay, thank you. Well, there's Sinister Shadows. Hello, how are you? Yes, more summer. Okay. Sugar cookies the size of your palms. My goodness. I like sugar cookies. That's, Mandy says she is waiting on her laptop to reboot and she'll be up with us. Popcorn with Parmesan cheese is good. Oh, yeah. I'm not a real big popcorn eater, but I'll eat it every once in a while. But I usually like caramel popcorn. Like the what's it called? Like the Crunch of Much? Barbecue chips, blueberry muffins too. Yum. Nothing is safe, right? Especially when you got the munchies, nothing is safe. Yes, I so wish something would break for Summer and they would find her, but it's so discouraging, isn't it? To think how old she would be now had, you know, it just seems like it's been so long. And I truly hope and pray Sebastian does not, his case doesn't go that far, but I don't think it will. You had brownies, but no good stuff in them. Well, brownies they don't have to have the good stuff in them, do they? They're good on their own. It is very sad. It's sad because she can't be found and laid to rest, and it's sad because someone was able to get away with it for this long, and nothing has nothing has come of it where they could even get close to finding her. Is what we're from our side. That's how we see it. Is they're not doing anything, and we don't see any improvement or any movement, and maybe they know more than we know. Maybe there's stuff they're just not saying, but for us it just seems like they're just doing nothing. Oh, I missed your comment, Mimi Jean. Let me go back up there. -7 here with light snow. Oh, nope. That is too cold. I wouldn't want to get out of the house if it was that cold. I would not want to do anything. I just want to stay in the house under a blanket. Yes, Michael Vaughn and Sebastian Rogers. Yes, God bless them both. I pray all the time for the missing children to be found. Wouldn't that be great if they all could just be found? -7. I know that's what I said. -7. They need to go back from day one. Leave out. You're right. There's so much. That's what I was. Me and Mandy was talking about how much I call it shenanigans and crap that goes on in Summer's case. That if you could get rid of all of the distractions and all of that, and just put the facts there, it would be it would probably be look like a totally different case. You know what I mean? It would probably look like, is this really Summer's case? Is this all it is this all we have really factual that it boils down to when we have all this other distractions and stuff on the other side? So that the distractions and all of that just gets in the way. I pray they arrest someone, then make them turn. Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? That would be so nice. Yeah, yeah, I can bet, Mimi Jean. Yeah, yeah, it would make you stiff. Oh, there's Mandy. See, I sent. Let me see. Let me bring it up here. I sent the same message to Mandy, and I left my messenger open after sending it and set my phone on my couch. And my dog kept stomping on my phone and kept calling her. She was upset. I don't blame her. Oh no. I just hope
Oh, I
Is me.
I wasn't upset, no, I wasn't upset. I was like, "Please don't call me back to back because it rings on all of my devices, and it
Uh,
doesn't even pop up on my screen, though, so I can't even answer a video chat on Facebook right now, and I don't know why, but it kept ringing, and I was like, "Where is that coming from?"
oh.
So, no, I wasn't upset, but I was like, "Please don't call me back to back like that."
I
Hi,
think
Wolfie.
these a few I think these a few involved and cops messed it up since day one, and I've watched since day one. Yeah, yeah.
And hello, everybody in chat. Sorry I'm late, but the grandbaby is laid down and sleeping. So that's a good thing.
Yes. Because boy, she didn't act like she wanted to earlier.
Oh my goodness. She was on a crazy, I don't even know, like I think she was on her fifth wind. Um, she had a busy day, and usually we just lounge at home the majority of the day. So she wasn't quite sure how to act. And I know she was exhausted. When I
Hi,
laid her down, she went right to sleep.
I know. I know she's had a busy day.
Yes,
Hi,
ma'am.
Diane. How are you? And Mandy, that's a good example of how overstimulated she was, right? Can
Oh,
you
yeah.
imagine how Sebastian felt that day?
Right. Yep. That's why I say, like, I can relate, you know? We so my granddaughter just turned 2 in February, and we had her tested today for autism, and they said that she is on the spectrum. They listed her as moderate to severe, and so that opens up a whole world of opportunity for her now to go to different therapies, to get, other benefits, to help her be the best that she can be. So,
Yeah.
um, I'm
It's like
happy that we were
it's only gonna benefit her is what I was trying to say.
right. Yeah. I'm happy we can get it going for her early. With my son, it's been a little bit longer. We waited until he was older, and we were so impressed with the place today that I asked about getting my son in there to get some things done with him too. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, she was busy. She had her testing done, then we went out to eat, and then and we ate in the restaurant. Usually we would bring stuff home. So
Mhm,
that was, overstimulation of her being in an unknown place like that with people talking all around her. And
mhm.
um then
People she didn't
we
know.
left, right. And then we came home and rested for a little bit, and then my daughter took her to the park with a few of her friends. So there she was again, stimulated with everybody around her, all the kids that she didn't know. And at the park, kids get
Mhm.
worn out at the park anyway. So
Right. Yep.
so she had a busy day.
Mhm. That's good, though. But it just shows you, how you can relate to Sebastian had a big day according to his schedule. He had a big day that day also that he
Right.
went missing. So, or the day before, I guess it would really was it the day before or the day of that he had the
Well,
big
it was
sore
the
throat?
day of, but because it was that night.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And the day before was also busy. That was when they went to um they went to Costco's one day,
Yeah.
they went to
I was
BJ's the other.
Yeah. Yeah. So he had really a busy 2 days,
Right.
a full day.
Absolutely. Hi,
Yeah.
Eve. Hi, Mimi Jean. Diane, Patty. Hello. Hello, everybody. I'm so excited. Did everybody hit the thumbs up? Did you give it a smooch? We won't look. We'll turn our heads while you go smooch the thumbs up real quick, okay?
Right.
Hi, Brown Eyes Blue.
Hi, Brown Eyes Blue. Nice to see you. I did ask, and I'll ask throughout the stream because I know I've got people coming in. Um, but I had already mentioned Mandy to them that I was thinking of doing more live streams on Summer because I wanted to keep her out there a little longer, and I just felt, the need to do that.
Right.
I asked most of them what they thought about that, and everybody in chat so far has said, yes, please. So I said that I will ask again later, and I'm going to put a poll up on YouTube after tonight
Awesome.
and
Awesome.
get a little opinions there too.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's good. I mean, we've done a lot for Summer's case over the last 6 to 7 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think it's good to do it every once in a while, it makes certain people start squirming,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of interesting to see what people do. I mean,
And
just like,
you've had longer streams than I have.
right.
You've done what, a couple 6 to 8 hours or 5 to 6 hours
Yeah,
of
5 to 6.
talking about Summer. So we're definitely trying to keep her out there for sure. Hello,
Yes.
Villanova.
Hi,
Hello.
Villanova.
Yes, please, more Summer. Thank you.
And just like when we were live on Shares last night,
Right. Yeah.
she pulled up her messages with her and Robin and noticed that Robin had started deleting some of her own messages that she had sent to Share.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very interesting. Why would she do that?
Yeah. Why would
Hi,
you
Lisa
need
K.
to do that if there was nothing you were worried about in what you said?
That's right. You only delete things that you don't want seen.
That's why they call it dirty deleting.
Yes.
Dirty. I was trying to say it right, but I was getting all
Deleting.
say it. Oh my goodness. Hello, Lisa K. How are you? Brown Eyes Blue. Did I already say hi to you, Brown Eyes Blue? Yep, that's right. We want to know that too. Very good question, isn't it, Patty? Very good question. I'm happy you're not on 1, 2, 3 a.m. Yeah. Yeah. I can you talking about the live streams not being on 1, 2, 3 a.m.? Mandy's better at that. After about 3, I'm like, okay. Mandy can hang a lot better than me after 3 o'clock.
Once I get going, it's hard for me to stop, but then once I do stop, I crash out. Like
Mhm.
last night when we got off of Cher's panel, it was such a short stream
It
that
was.
I debated going live on my channel because
Mhm.
I was sitting here and I was like, well, I had planned on, a couple hours at least. And since we ended early, and so
Oh,
I sat here and I started watching something else and I was messaging with Tammy and I ended up falling asleep in my computer chair. And I was like, well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and go to bed now.
no, she didn't. She didn't send me a message back, and she didn't. And that's never. It's always me that falls asleep, and Mandy has to wait till the next morning. But uh, I was like, I bet that girl done went to sleep.
I did. I conked out.
I didn't text her anymore because I figured she was asleep. Hello, Saved by Grace. Nice to see you.
I Saved by Grace and Carla Barnes. We got an awesome chat.
Mm-hmm. I was letting everybody
Little,
come in, give them a few minutes to come in before we started.
yes. Well, I appreciate that because that gave me time to get everything ready on my end. So it worked out great. No, Carla, that it's just whatever sleep schedule you're on.
Mm.
That's the way I see it because I sleep when I can. My whole entire life, I never took naps. I could not sleep during the day. If the sun was up, I couldn't sleep. I even tried to work third shift for a while, and it
Oh
was hard
yeah,
for me because I couldn't sleep during the day
right. Yeah.
until my daughter had my granddaughter. And now I take a nap. I try to take a nap on a daily basis.
Right. Right. It's
It
okay,
does.
Sarah, I understand. I know you're not feeling well. It's
Oh,
perfectly
hi,
fine.
Cher.
This is all right. It's okay.
Right? Like naps are needed. Now I understand when my grandmother used to babysit us when we were little, she would lay on the couch and she would say, I'm gonna take a little cat nap. Now you guys sit here and watch TV and be
Right.
good. And I'm like, okay, and she would go to sleep 15, 20 minutes and that was it. And then she would wake up. I'm
Oh,
like, how do you do that? How do you wake yourself up after a little cat nap?
oh, little Deb, that's nice. Do you see that, Cher? Prayers for Cher to feel better.
Oh,
That's sweet.
hopefully it's nothing. I know that there's some things floating around out there right
Well,
now.
you get so tired, and with the like with Cher and them probably don't recognize it. We recognize, spring forward and fall back. I don't think Cher does that. But for
Right.
me, that like the next day kicks my butt. I mean,
Yes.
even fall back does. I mean, it still makes me feel bad the next day.
Right. Well, it messes with your sleep. I mean, regardless of how it happens, it's still like Sunday night. I was telling my son, I was like, I know it only feels like 9 o'clock, but it's really 10 o'clock
Yeah.
now. So you need to go lay down and try to get to sleep
Mhm.
because you got school in the morning. So it definitely messes with you.
You know what's funny is when you're young like that, you don't want to take a nap. And,
Right.
your parents will tell you, "You need to take a nap," and your parents are thinking, "Why don't you take a nap? I'd kill I just love
Right.
to go take a nap," because when you're kids, you're like, "I don't man, I sleep all the time. I don't."
Do you know, I always joke around with my daughter about this. She got kicked out of 5 daycares before she was 2 years old. Guess why?
'Cause she didn't take a nap?
Yes, she
Yeah.
would not lay quietly on her cot for the 30-minute requirement that the state
Mhm.
requires, for licensed daycares. She would not sit on like, they would give her books, they would give her quiet toys. She
Mm.
would not stay on that cot or on the mat at all, and they were like, "We can't keep her in the room. She's distracting all the other kids. They won't go to sleep because they wanna get up and play with her."
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause
5
yeah.
different daycares. I had to move her around. I'm like, "Girl, I am a single mom trying to work here. You are messing up my flow."
Yeah, you're gonna have to do something. Yeah, I get it. Yep, yep.
Mhm. And she is stubborn, so I'm not surprised with my grandbaby. She is so stubborn too, and I'm like, "See, it's all your fault because you were this way."
That's right. You ever heard people say, "Well, one day you're gonna have kids just like you."
Yep, and they say your kids will be 10 times worse than you.
And my daughter told me once, she's like, "Why didn't I stop you in that mid-sentence?" I'm like, "Well, guess
It was
what?
funny
Now you can say it. You can say it."
today, my daughter was trying to put my granddaughter in the car seat so we could leave the restaurant, and she was fighting her, like, she kept arching her back, and I
Yeah.
started laughing, and I said, "Do you know how many times I had to put my elbow between your legs to hold you in your car seat so I could strap you in?" I said, "This is amusing to me. Keep going."
Let's see how you handle that.
Right, exactly.
Tie a
Oh,
kid to the what? To the thinking
what?
chair?
Oh my
I
goodness.
think you can do that now. Wouldn't that be considered hazing? How long ago was that, Lisa Kay?
Right. Do you know, actually, the last daycare that my daughter got kicked out of, her teacher in that class got fired because another parent had witnessed her trying to physically hold my daughter on the cot, like restrain her to the cot laying down. And she told the director, and the director ended up calling me in and having a meeting and letting me know what had happened. And they terminated that employee. So,
Wow. 17 grandchildren.
oh my
That's awesome,
goodness.
Patty, and 13 great. Well, congratulations. You've got a little
Wow.
crew. That's awesome.
Right. Cher, if she wouldn't have been gone when I got there that day, I probably would have.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You put your hands on my baby and I'm gonna put my hands on you. I've never had to do that in my life, but I promise.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I promise.
When my daughters were growing up in school, I always told them, "You never start anything ever."
Right.
but you better stop. You better end it, and
Yep,
you better
always finish
take up
it.
for yourself. You better take up for yourself. And I only had to go twice. And it was for the young one, not the older one. And I told the teachers, I had warned them before. I'm like, she's going to clean her clock. I'm telling you, you better do something, or I'm gonna be in here next week because
Mhm.
he's going. And my daughter's short and stock. You know, she's short, but she played soccer, so she was a wing, so a left wing. So she was always running. And I told him, I said she's gonna clean her. I mean it. And I
Yep,
got called that Monday, and I'm like, well, I'm
I
like, you
told
can,
you.
you know, you can, what is it, suspend or, yeah, not expel is when you get kicked out. You can
Yeah.
suspend her for 3 days all you want. I said, but meanwhile, me and her dad's taking her out for a steak because she took up for herself.
That's right. My daughter did the same thing in 6th grade. It was so hard. 6th grade is you're leaving elementary and going into middle, and you're the low man on the totem pole. And um, she had 3 or 4 girls that would just not get off of her back, constantly trying to bully her. And finally, I guess my daughter and one of the girls arranged to meet in the bathroom, and everybody in the school caught wind of it because
Mhm.
they all had their iPads in there recording this fight that went down in the bathroom.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I had to go in, and they had the police there and everything. They collected all the iPads from everybody in there, and yeah, it got bad. They both got suspended
Mhm.
because it was prearranged,
Mhm.
and I wasn't mad at her. I mean, she stood up for herself. You can only take so much.
Well, that was my daughter. It was in the bathroom too, by the way. And they told they're like, it took us two teachers and a teenage boy to get her off her. I'm like, I tried to tell you, I warned you, and everything y'all getting today, y'all deserve it. Because
You don't have to be a psychic, okay?
right. I come in, I told them, I'm like, I'm telling you, she's gonna clean her. And she probably outweighed my daughter by like 20, 25 pounds. And she was probably my daughter's short, so she was probably a foot taller than her. She cleaned her clock. And I said, well, if I warn you and you still ignore me, then you deserve what you get.
That's right. 12 of 13, Carla. Holy mackerel.
Lisa K, did you say that happened in 1963?
Mhm.
That's when that happened with that tying them to a chair. My goodness. Never.
My mom's father had a large family like that. I don't remember. I wanna say that it was around 13 or 14 kids. They had 2 sets of twins.
Mm,
That's the only twins that we have in,
mm,
our family at all
mm.
on my mom's side, and, on so my youngest brother is my half brother. On his father's side, there's no twins at all, and my brother had a set of twins.
Well, my mom's and her twin sister are 12 and 13. My grandma had 13 kids, and my aunt had 14. I'm like, no, y'all
No,
forget it. I ain't giving y'all that many.
right? No way.
But back then, because my mom has passed away, so back then families were really big,
Right,
so.
right. I couldn't do it. My husband and I had talked about, having children, and we had decided we wanted 3, and, I already had my daughter, and so we were hoping for a boy, but we had decided on 3, and my daughter was 7 when my son was born, and when my son was about 2, we decided we were good with 2. We stopped. We didn't need that 3rd one.
Right.
And the crazy thing is too, when I was pregnant with my son, they thought I was pregnant with twins. So for about a week, we thought we were having twins.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. For about a week, we thought. Oh my goodness, I hear myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I hit my phone and it came on. The cat's over here playing with something. And he ran across the table and hit my phone. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
Oh no.
because he's playing. He's wound up now. He's got something he's playing with it on the.
Okay.
Let's see.
Sissy, my mother-in-law is the youngest of 27.
Wow. Welcome, by the way. I just now saw you in here. Let me turn
Right. Hi, Sissy. God bless their mother and father
Yes.
to handle 27 children.
Wolfie's from a big family. If she's in here, she's from a big family. She also.
Yeah, she's here. You had 5, but you wanted 10. And so, did you choose to stop, or did you have other things that happened that forced you to stop? If you care to share, Mimi Jean.
See, did I miss anybody? I'm looking to see if I missed anybody that came in.
And I think we got everybody.
I'm going to ask one more time while we got a little few more people in here, and then Mandy, we can start the video whenever we'll tell them what the video is about and we'll start it. But I was asking y'all in chat, can't do two things at one time. I was thinking of continuing summer streams on summer, and I was wondering how y'all feel about it. Would y'all like to see me and Mandy do more streams on summer? Would y'all like to hear more about summer? Keep putting her out there if y'all would like that. I feel like I want to do some more on summer, but I was just wondering what y'all had thought about that. If y'all wanted me to continue. 26. I thought so, Wolfie.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Aww.
Wolfie was from a big family. The C word. I got you, Mimi Jean. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, my goodness. Hi, Woman's Warrior.
So if you would like me to continue, just let me know with Summer's streams. Hi, woman. I learned I need to talk tonight. Learn how to talk tonight. I'm getting all tongue-tied for some reason.
Women's Warrior, did I make sense in the comment that I left on your channel when you were asking what I would suggest? She was asking for suggestions about what to cover on her channel, like what I would suggest. And so I left a circle talk comment, I guess. You know how I babble, and I babbled. And so I was just hoping that it made sense and that it was answering the question that she had.
Did I know Women's Warrior had a channel? I don't know that I knew that.
She has another screen name that she comes in chat under, and Women's Warrior is a new channel that she created recently.
Okay. Let's put her in chat. Let's put her link. Let's drop it. If you know what it is, let's drop it down there.
Yep, I can grab it because the one that she's on, that's the new channel that she just created. So
okay, cool. Yeah, if anybody has a channel, please let one of the mods know, and we'll get it dropped for you. Eve has a channel. Hers is a new channel she started. I love the little. If you see Eve's little post of Betty Boop she puts out every day, she puts a post out. I love her post.
Oh yes, I have.
Yes. I love it every night. So Eve's got her channel started. So please subscribe to her. Oh, there's Wolfie. Let me see what she said. I think the more that you put out, the more likely somebody needs to hear. Could help break the investigation wide open. Yes, more summer. Okay. I have not heard anybody say no. So
I think, yeah, everybody's pretty much saying yes, summer.
Yeah. Mandy, yeah, totally. I'm in the process of creating exactly what I am doing, so made sense.
Oh,
Very
good. Thank you. Okay. I am getting the
I
link.
totally believe in that, Wolfie. Everybody starts somewhere, So, and I hope people, share my link. I don't ask people to because I'm weird. I feel weird about that, but I know how hard it is. It's really hard. Justice for you. Hello. Hello. If y'all hear my cat, he's chasing something across the floor in the shed. He's found a ball that he is chasing. That's probably what you hear. Or the wind. You might hear the wind too. Because it's getting windy. There is her channel. There you go.
And I'm grabbing Eve's. Anybody else? Have I missed anybody? Oh. He wants to be a part of the show.
He is talking to that whatever he's playing with. Talking to it.
Oh, that's funny.
That's the wrong one. It's
Oh, is
definitely
it?
2025. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll fix it.
She fits it. So, what we're going to talk about tonight is more of Dawn's Facebook post. We're also going to talk a little bit about Hunter and what he said during after Summer disappeared. And we're going to talk about a little bit about the sign. Me and Mandy had discussed the sign that was made for Summer in the parade, and we thought that was interesting. And we're going to talk about that and some more stuff in between. Yes, this is the little one. This is the baby kitty. This is the one that's like 6, 7 months old. Salem. No, you don't make it complicated.
No.
Complicated too. Trust me. Oh, Mimi Jean, yeah.
I don't mind. I just didn't go far enough. I knew where I was going. I just didn't go far enough. So I getting it. I fixing it.
We do miss Cher tonight. We do. Yeah. I think she's got a live schedule for Sunday if she feels better. I think it's Sunday. I have to look again. I'm pretty sure it's Sunday. Claudia said to tell you hello, but her phone. Oh no. It's hard to be without a phone. Isn't that crazy how hard it is to be without a phone? It just kind of like you feel handicapped because you know what I mean? It's like
We're
you depend
so
on that thing
reliant.
for everything.
Yes. We are so reliant. Well, and it's because as phones make it so easy. Like I think back to, when I was in high school and we didn't have our cell phones yet. And, I think I was, the year 2000 is when I got my first cell phone in my name, and so we've had a cell phone. I've had a cell phone for, this is the 25th year. So I couldn't imagine. We have everything on our phones, our banking, our communication,
Yeah.
everything.
Mhm. Yeah. And it's so convenient to have everything right there.
Right.
Yeah, we were looking forward to Cher being here, but she just doesn't feel good, so she's feeling blah tonight. So we want her to rest. But I think I seen Sunday on her. I think she had the 16th on her. I think she had it posted for the 16th. Yeah. 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 Yep.
And I'm gonna self-promote, and I'm gonna drop my own channel link.
Well, yes, girlfriend. You go, girl.
There's mine.
We're all about it over here. Yeah,
That's
she
right.
was Mimi Jean. She was in chat earlier. You might have already left by the time she was in chat. Said she was laying down. She didn't feel good. You might have missed her. She was in here pretty early.
Okay, so Tammy, the part 2 of the Facebook post has
Yes.
my commentary in it, correct?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yes, I think it does. Yes.
Okay, because I was looking through the list here and I was like, did we do that one? Or
Mm-mm.
was there a different one? Because I
Yeah,
know that I have the Facebook part 3 also.
it starts out with the end of the first one.
Okay,
You know what
so
I'm saying? So you started the second one with part of the end of the first one that we done. So
okay.
I'm trying to think, what did we end with? Um, I forgot, it was a post of Dawn's, but it starts. So the end of your first one is the beginning of your second one, is what I'm trying to say. I'm telling you. Ah,
I know, I get it. I get it. It's been one of them days.
Wednesday. My goodness.
Okay, so since this is me and I'm talking and reading, I did put it on 1.25 because usually I talk pretty slow. So we can speed me up and get through it just fine.
Speed you up. Speed her up.
Speed her up, Scotty. Hi, Lil Dev.
But
So if it,
like the first like 5 minutes of this one is kind of I think we should listen to the first 5 minutes. That's what I was gonna say.
okay, I was wondering if we should skip the first 5 minutes. Okay,
No,
all right, because I haven't
this
watched this.
I think this mentions the first 5 minutes has something to do with what Hunter has to say. So I'd like to play
Okay.
the first 5 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't review this, so we're going brand new for me on 3 years later of my own video.
I have put a shout out on Deafening 20 for you, Barnes. Oh, thank you. You are so welcome. Yes. And thank you very
Oh.
much for that. I appreciate you.
She and Eve both. I've noticed that they both channels out, and I really
They do.
appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Eve is so sweet. She sure does. She supports you, you know. She
Right.
is so sweet. She does. I
And I'm
appreciate
pretty
it.
sure I've shared both of your channels out also, correct? I know I just did the Deafening Silence recently, but I did Eve's within the last week or two also, right? Am I right? Because if not, I definitely want to share it out. I'll probably share it out again anyway, but I just like to make sure that I share also. Yes, okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead. And so I wanted to say this video, I posted it on July 26th, 2021. So it's just a little over a month, about 5 weeks or so after Summer was reported missing. And it's part 2 of Donwell's Facebook page. We did part 1 on part 6 on Tammy's live stream. And this one goes from July 9th through July 26th at 3:30 a.m. Of 2021. All right, here we go. Hey. Ooh, welcome to my channel. I'm sharing with you the post that Donald Wells has made on his Facebook page, mainly about the Summer Wells case. His daughter, his 5-year-old daughter, who he reported missing back on June 15th. Now, this is part 2 of this because I already went back to the very beginning of Donald's Facebook page and I shared everything that he had posted all the way up through July 9th. So the post that you see on your screen right now is at the end of the first video that I shared. So that's where we're going to start on this one. Now, there have been a lot of posts that have been made since July 9th. It is 2:39 a.m. on Monday, July 26th, currently. So that's where we are, and that's where we're going to start. So before we get into it, I do want to ask you to please make sure that you're subscribed, ring the bell, hit the all option, hit the thumbs up if you feel it necessary, share, comment, you know, the whole spiel. Okay, now in the first video when I shared it, all I did was record, and then I put a little background music. That way you guys could go through and read it at your own pace. Well, I had one person that commented with a shitty comment saying that nobody wants to read it themselves, that I should have read it to you guys. That one person was the only person that said that, but I figured if one person said it, then there were probably others that were thinking it. So I thought, okay, this time we'll do it. I'll read it, and we'll discuss the post as I go through them. I'm very open to constructive criticism, but usually I do better when it's not a shitty comment.
Right.
I just wanted to throw that in there. And Tammy, your overlay
Mm-hmm.
is StreamYard.
Is
Remember we
it?
talked about? Yeah, remember
Oh,
we
yeah.
talked about last time and you're like, I don't know how that got on there. It's on there this time too. I just noticed it.
I see that down at the bottom.
So yeah, if you go to your overlays, you can click it and remove it so they can see your channel name at the top.
Okay, I'll do that just
instead of the StreamYard.
all right.
Okay. I want this video to be super long. That's why I didn't talk in the last one, because I babble. I can't help it. That's just me. So I'm going to try not to babble. I'm going to try to read. I'm not going to discuss each post in great detail. If there's any post that I do want to discuss in great detail, I'll make a separate video about it so that we can just get through Dawn Wells' Facebook page. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started here. So this was also posted on July 9th after I had recorded the last video. Now, I don't plan on going through all the comments on each post. We're not doing that because there's so many comments on a lot of these posts, and I'm not going to dox people on Facebook. People on Facebook use their real name, so I don't want to do that. There are some posts on Don's page where people have tagged him, and they have put his name in their post, and those are showing up on his page. I can't figure out how to make those disappear, so I'm going to share those if they are relevant, I guess, maybe. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep scrolling past them because I don't want to focus on those. I want to focus on what we are hearing from Dawn's words only. Now, I am working on another video that it should be uploaded around the same time as this one, of all the interviews that I could find that Dawn and Candace have done since June 15th. Whether they were verbal face-to-face interviews with news crews, or they were text conversations behind the scenes with other creators, or phone calls, or whatever. I tried to compile a video of just their words. So that video will be up around the same time as this one. I think that that's very important. I'm very intrigued by Dawn and Candace's words. And I'm telling you, we need to listen between the words, read between the lines. I believe that they are telling us more than what we are realizing. And we just have to figure out exactly what they are actually telling us. So I'm still working on it. And I'm hoping that you guys are helping. The comments that you guys have left have been amazing. And they have sparked things in my mind. As I'm reading your comment, I'm like, oh my gosh, either something that you said made total sense to me, or it sparked a different route of my thought process. And I was like, you know, I'll stop and think, oh my gosh, I never thought about it this way. Okay, like somebody commented that during Hunter's interview, he said he named each color and flavor of slushies that they supposedly got on June 15th. And that justifies why Summer's lips were blue in that picture, where they analyzed in the 7-second video versus the picture of Summer in the back seat. If you haven't seen that video yet, check it out. It's on my channel. Her lips had a blue tint to them. And he didn't say in the interview, if I understand correctly, because I still have not watched that interview. I haven't been told to watch it yet, so I haven't watched it yet. But the person commented and said he didn't say that's why Summer's lips were blue, but he said that she got a blue slushie. So I'm going with what the person told me. And I was like, are you kidding me? Are you serious? So Hunter's trying to cover something up too. And I feel like that validates that. Okay. Anyway, let's stay on track, Mandy. Stay on track. Okay. So July 9th, Donald Wells posted, through all this, the only comfort I can find is in. Is that the part that you wanted to talk about?
Yes.
Yes, I
Yes.
talk to myself. Don't judge me.
Um,
Well, thank
yeah,
you, Lucy.
yeah. I wanted to talk about well, one is what did you think about the different flavors of slushies? Because it was never mentioned in the original story that he was with them, even with them, was it?
No, they left out a lot. Um, I think Candace had mentioned, well, you mean in their news interview?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they mentioned Hunter there at all. I think it was mentioned later on, and then Candace didn't mention the flavors of slushies until she was talking to Chris McDonough.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of like they were adding stuff in here and there.
Right. Well, yeah, and it was like they were justifying, I mean, just like with that, saying what flavor it was. If Summer was drinking a blue slushy, would that slushy turn her lips blue? Because some do and some don't. My daughter loves blue raspberry flavored stuff, and sometimes her mouth turns blue, and sometimes it doesn't change her mouth color at all. So I've never had a Sonic blue slushy, but when Candace said it, I don't even think that theirs was blue. I
Yeah.
can't remember.
I had someone go to Sonic and got a blue slushie, and she sent me a picture, and it didn't stain her mouth. Yeah.
And see that I was thinking that somebody had done that. Thank you.
Hmm. No judgment. I talk to myself. I do too. I talk to myself all the time.
Thank you, Lil Dev. To remind myself to stay on track. Ah,
Right? Right, Carla? Yep. Hmm. And I thought that was interesting how why he thought he needed to name all the different flavors of slushies and what, I mean, did he just feel like he needed to put that in there so that would describe the blue lips that we thought we saw?
and that's what I'm thinking, especially when he shared, or it was either he or Allie, or both, had shared that Candace was so determined to talk to Hunter to find out what he had told law enforcement when he
Yeah.
spoke to them.
Hmm. Yeah. She wanted to know exactly what he said.
Yeah. So I feel like it is like they want to make sure that they have everything covered. I
Hmm.
mean, even like with Candace not coming on the news until 13 days later, I believe it was because she was so busy watching what everybody was saying on Facebook. So she would know exactly what to say in
Yeah.
her interview, just
Yeah.
like we washed our hands and then we got a piece of candy. And no, you didn't.
I'm like, since when?
Right, right. You don't wash
Since,
your hands all day long. Do
yes.
not try to lie to us now.
Yeah. Stop. Stop. Just stop. Yeah. Hey,
You
Aussie
haven't
True Crime. Hello. How are you?
Hi,
Sweet lady.
Ozzy. Be like, "You haven't washed your hands today. What are you talking about?
Right.
You haven't washed your hands, you haven't brushed your mouth, you haven't washed your hair, you probably haven't washed your booty. Come on now. Couldn't even put a bra on and put the shirt on right side
Right.
out and
Right.
frontwards."
I mean, if you're gonna be believable, if you want to be believable, most probably what you should do is say something that people are gonna believe. Because when you start adding stuff in there, people are like, "Huh? That doesn't,
Yeah,
that doesn't even sound like something you would do." So
right.
you can kind of tell when they're throwing things in there, adding things in there
Absolutely.
that don't sound right. Mhm,
Mhm.
mhm,
And I
mhm.
also wanna say something too about that, the filthy house, because when we were talking about the house being filthy, you know, of course, the people who supported Don and Candace were like, you're being so mean to them because they're poor. And so to clarify, I don't care how much money you got. You
Right.
don't have to be rich to have a clean house.
You do
You
not.
can, if you're
No.
poor, most likely you get food stamps and you can buy vinegar on food stamps and you can clean with vinegar and newspaper. So
Yeah.
don't that, you know, it's because they're poor. No, I was poor growing up and our house was always clean.
Yeah. That's just an excuse.
Mhm. And they chose to have the filthy house.
Right. Well, you would think that she would want a clean house with, with kids and stuff. You need to have your house clean because they go to school and they already bring things home, that from other kids, being sick, colds, the flu and stuff. And you need to do the best you can to keep your house clean so they bring home, when they come home with something, they can get over it quick. Oh, looky there, Tammy B.
Hi, Tammy.
He also only mentions the two older boys. He never mentions the younger one. That's interesting too, isn't it? Well, if you go on the site for Summer, they always mention the boys but never mention Summer ever.
Well, and it's always my boys and Summer or my kids and Summer. You
Mm-hmm.
know, Summer's never included in
Right.
my kids.
Right.
And right, Bellanova, they weren't poor at all. They didn't qualify for the food stamps or the Medicaid or any, you know, state assisted programming because they were not poor.
Right. Yeah. I'll see. I probably should have asked you first before I threw it at you. I'm sorry.
Surprise!
I told Mandy I was gonna throw you one, but I probably should have asked you first. Everybody saying hello in chat. Thank y'all for welcoming everybody. But we were clean, and so was the house. When you have a bunch of kids like me, you're cleaning the house tells you what. Yep. Mm-hmm.
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 Exactly. And she had 4 children under the age 12 and under in the house. And it's a tiny house.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's one, it shouldn't be that hard to keep up with because it is so small. But two, I would think you would want to keep up with it to stay half-ass organized because
Yeah.
you have 4 kids.
And you have boys, and
Yeah.
boys are normally don't have as much stuff as girls, because the girls have purses and shoes and makeup, and girls just have,
Barbies.
yeah, they just have more stuff. Mm. She
I agree, Carla. I agree. A cage of some kind.
I'm speaking of Hunter mentioning the two older ones supposed being at work with Don. So I see what you're saying. See,
Oh.
I've heard that they were with him, and then I heard that they weren't. That's another thing that we've heard, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then I heard he wasn't at work at all. Wasn't
Right.
that wasn't that proved? Didn't he finally say he wasn't at work?
He
Or was
told
it that far?
Cher after Cher had got him frustrated enough, he exploded and
Right.
said, "Fine, I wasn't at work."
Okay.
But we heard, see, that's with the story about the boys being at work with him. You know, we heard Hunter say that Dawn had called Candace to tell her that there was somebody, you know, that there was a guy on the property, whatever, trying to talk to the kids, or I don't remember the exact verbiage, but you know, it was a message from Dawn about something that was happening at their home, but he was supposed to be at work, and that would have been around, depending on when he called, if it was their first trip or their second trip through Walgreens drive-through. So it would have been somewhere between 12 and 2.
Right.
And, allegedly he was supposed to be there until at least 3:30.
Right. So where were the boys? They were at home also then.
Right.
I
Well,
would
if
assume.
if Don was really at work, then the only way he would have known about some stranger being on the property would have been if the boys were home and they were outside. Now,
Right.
Candace said the boys were home all day and the doors were all locked, so nobody in and nobody out,
Yep.
but they would have to be outside to see the stranger and that somebody was trying to talk to him.
Yeah. They'd have to be outside for him to try to talk to. They might can see him, them inside and him outside, but if they were talking to them, then they had to have been outside.
Right.
Unless you're yelling through the door. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Violence and substance misuse. And when things are really bad, often maintaining the house is not even on the priority. When things get to a serious level, not in all cases, but in a lot. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. Yep. You cannot come in there.
Did you speak to his boss and coworkers? Or how do you know that? Like, did you speak to him yourself? Yeah, they said, and so on their way home, I have the whole timeline, the scripted timeline that Candace gave. And of course, it didn't match what Hunter said, but Candace knows because she's the one that drove that timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, their last stop before dropping Hunter off was allegedly the grocery store. And Candace said that she and her mother were only in there for like 5 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
but Hunter said they were in there for like an hour. And so they dropped Hunter off and then went straight home because they had the groceries. And which I don't believe because of the milk video and the picture. The picture was taken while they were stopped somewhere after 3:09 p.m. with the tailgate open and the window glass open, and there was a blue trash tote behind them. And there are no blue trash totes on Ben Hill anywhere. So they were not at home. They stopped somewhere. And it was after 3:09 p.m. But allegedly, when she got home, she had the boys come out and help carry the groceries in.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Tammy B. That's what I'm wondering about also.
Yeah, one Hunter said, yeah, I don't believe Hunter knows the facts of the day. Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm. And blue eyes brown or brown eye blue brown eyes blue.
No, you can't talk.
I know you're contagious, dang it. It's called tongue tied. The one thing that Tammy and I were just talking about too, when Hunter came out and told his story, he ran through it pretty well. He got a few things mixed up, according to Candace's story that she told, but he got all the places down. But then later, when he came out on his father's panel and he ran through that timeline of the day, he completely jacked it up. He even added Burger King to the timeline.
Yeah.
And that was the first time we've ever heard of Burger King. And I think it was because he didn't remember the story that he was told to tell.
Right. Yep.
Too much time had passed and he had forgotten, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He said somebody had been living on the property. Was he talking about the Dobbs guy? The guy that had just bought part of the property or something, maybe? Yeah, I think he lied about a lot of stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was a lie too. But
Mm.
I think Candace had kind of instructed him and bribed him and
Yeah. Oh, yeah. With twisted tea.
and
Mm.
vapes.
Mm-hmm. And probably who knows what else.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You want me to keep playing?
Yes, ma'am. Because we're going. I think Summer's picture's fixing to come up with the little dog.
Okay. So do you have a timestamp when you want me to stop, or do you just want me to play until, or?
Just play until, yeah.
Okay. It's my video, so we can play the whole thing if you want.
We
We'll
were
have to
talking.
worry about copyright.
Yeah, we were talking about that today too. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. God and his truth. He never lied. I don't want to do any comfort. Okay, so July 9th, Donald Wells posted, through all this, the only comfort I can find is in God and his truth. He never lied. I don't want to do anything anymore except study the prophets and pray. And Jesus would always say to people, what do the prophets say? What do the prophets say? He knew the Old Testament well, but just like our time, people would take others' word and corrupt the plain, loving truth. Many false churches these days, even false Christs. Look it up. Ellen White was the last prophet before Christ's return. Satan, he put Satan, but that's Satan for him. Satan set up many false churches around that time in 1830. This is a matter of eternal life or death. I urge you to find the truth for yourself and take nobody's word for it. I pray for you. Well, thank you, Dawn. We all pray for you too. Okay, I'm going to swap out my earbud. Hang on just a second. Okay, hopefully this sounds better. I know when I use my AirPods, well, I have an Android, but I have a set of AirPods, and they don't have noise reduction, like the background noise reduction in them, but the other earbuds that I have do. So that's what I'm using now. I have a fan in the background, and sometimes it makes it sound like I'm in a hole. So hopefully these sound better. Okay, and this is a post by somebody else. And they don't sound better. The sound sounds horrible. I apologize. This was bad within the first year of my channel.
You're okay.
Um, and they didn't charge Candace with contributing to a minor because her story was she bought it for her and her mom, and Hunter took anything. She didn't know that Hunter drank the tea, and she didn't know that Hunter took a vape. So her story is she didn't know. She didn't buy it for him. She bought it for them, and he stole it. So it was his word against her word,
Mm-hmm.
so they couldn't prove it.
Yeah, convenient story.
Right. And as for that, Wolfie, that would be something that Allie would have had to have done. Allie would have had to pursue charges against her for that. And he would have had to tell what happened, admit to anything happening, even if he said it was consensual. He's a minor. He couldn't consent. So she would have gotten in trouble for that. But we don't know if that was true. We don't know if they ever were involved in that way for a fact or not. So there's that. And that's true, Wolfie. And I don't think Grandma Candy was drinking. I think she bought the tea for herself and for Hunter, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Grandma was even there.
Yeah.
Mama's brat, you're back on your main account. What account were you on? Who were you in the past 5 minutes? And
Is that
welcome back.
Women's Warrior? Is that Women's Warrior?
No. Women's Warrior is her main account, and then Deafening Silence is her new channel. Hi, Chapstick.
Chapstick, hello. I hate the box that was created because Hunter said start.
When he said that the guy that Dawn was calling Candace about, it was a guy that his name started with an A. So it was Andy, is what he said.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Andrew said the essay was checked out by law enforcement and unfounded. Right, because a hunter would have to admit to it. So that, I guess that's what I mean, like he would have to tell his story of what happened.
Oh, it's justice for you. Okay.
Oh, okay. See, now we know. Welcome back,
Let me put back
Mama's
up.
brat. That's cute.
Said
Okay.
unfound. Okay.
All right, here we go. Okay, here is dawn. It's the Sabbath at sunset, God's real Sabbath. He put forth in his commands. Please keep his sacred day holy by having a good sacred day with church, family, and friends. Sabbath ends Saturday at sunset. I'll be working on Sunday, the first day of the week. Check out Bible Flock box on YouTube. Is that supposed to be YouTube? Is Saturday the real Sabbath day? Question mark. Well, you just told us it was. Okay, July 10th. Miss and love you, Summer, with all our hearts. We miss you in your church, and God will bring you back to his church. Okay. And I wanted to look at this picture. Okay. I noticed this picture, and somebody else was using it. I'm not wanting to see it. Oh, stop it. Okay. Summer looks so sad in this picture.
Yeah.
Now, this is just me clicking on it and zooming in on it. This is not me editing it or anything, okay? I wish I could zoom in a little bit more. If I screenshot it and save it, then I can. Let me see. Okay, I went ahead and screenshot it so we can zoom in on it. But I'll tell you, it concerns me very much. Anytime I see a picture of dogs and then the item behind Summer that's in that boy's hand, that concerns me because I heard that they were using that item to hurt the dogs. And it was a BB, I guess. So anytime I see a picture with those two things both in the picture, it hurts my heart. Okay, so we're going to look at this picture zoomed in. Okay, we're going to start with Summer's face. Now, I know that she's a little girl. She likes to get out there and get dirty. So she definitely has dirt all over her face, all over. And it looks like she has dirt around her mouth. But then what stood out to me was her hands. What is wrong with her knuckles? What is that on her fingers there? Okay, when I first looked at this, I didn't realize that it was one hand on top of the other. So it looked like she had like clean spots in the center of her knuckles and dark circles around the knuckle. But it's not. Those are her fingernails from her right hand covering her left hand.
Yeah.
So that was an optical illusion that I fell right into. Hi, Faith.
Hi, Faith. But not to the case. Does anyone else find it strange that the stables burnt down after the employees mentioned an interview that the car was parked down their hours?
Yeah, that was definitely weird timing.
Yeah.
Never heard if it was arson or if it was
Didn't either.
accidental.
I didn't hear a lot about that. I mean, it was just mentioned and then that was it.
Right. And Villanova, yeah, and the rumor was around that time that they would have fun using the pew-pews with BBs, and the dogs were their targets. So I didn't like that at all.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I'll keep going. I just wanted to clarify that was my mistake. I boo-booed, and I can own up to my boo-boos.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
I
Now it's
agree.
not on her first finger. I'm sorry?
No, I was agreeing with Mama's rat. A lot of people around there probably know what happened to Summer.
And it would
It's,
only take one of them to come forward.
yeah,
One person step
yeah,
up for this little girl.
yeah, yeah. I agree. And everybody's scared to do it. I guess. I guess they're scared of the other one. You know what I mean?
just sucks. It's bold.
It is.
It's only on the middle ring and pinky finger. Okay, so that concerned me when I first saw it. And then when I was able to actually look at it and get a little bit more detail from it, those are her fingertips from her right hand. Okay, so it looked like at this size back here, when I first saw it, I thought that they were like marks where skin had been removed or something. And then I realized those are her dirty fingernails. That is the dirt that is around each fingernail. Okay, so I don't know if anybody else noticed that, if it caught anybody else's eye, but I wanted to point that out because it really concerned me when I saw it the very first time I saw it. And then, I mean, of course, her face is always dirty, I think, in every picture, unless she's like dressed up at church. But she's a tomboy, so I'm not even faulting that. But I just wanted to point that out in case anybody else saw that and they were concerned about it. It's not something that's wrong with her fingers. It's just her fingertips crossing over. So her right hand is on top of her left hand.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get back into it. Goodness, that's loud. Sorry to the earbud users. All right, that was on July 10th. Now there's a couple more. Oh, that's the same one. There they go. So. I think that's pretty awesome. I'm sure that it's not easy. Well, the boys aren't with Dawn and Candace now, but when they were at home, the law enforcement removed their TV, which it sounded like from mom and dad that they all three lived on the TV, watching the internet, watching YouTube videos and Minecraft and such.
Let's
so
stop here.
I'm sure it was probably really hard for.
Yeah, let's stop here for a minute. Do you remember when Hunter's dad on his own channel said Hunter told him the whole truth about what happened, but he would go to his grave not telling any of us? I do remember that.
Mm-hmm. And he still has his channel, by the way. He's still on YouTube.
Yeah, we were talking about that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this picture is supposed to be the last picture, I believe.
Yeah.
The one that Don said he knew when he took this picture it would be the last one or something like that. Yeah.
That he was crying when he took it. I was trying to get it back to where it was the full picture so you could see it, and it's not wanting to work.
I don't know. Was Tim Mullen the pilot in that one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
Jeff, I've always thought that it was very strange timing, but I haven't heard anyone talk about it. I haven't either about the barn. It was mentioned, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not Tim
Lisa
Mullen. Okay.
See, I always thought it was Tim.
That is, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'm glad that you brought it up because I had actually forgotten that it happened.
Yeah.
Just because we never heard anything else about it. It was like, they went there, spoke to the employee, and then the next thing we heard was about the fire. And then there were no horses that were hurt in the fire. So I think that was it. I think that's all I remember hearing.
That's not the last picture. He lied. It was taken in April. Now, in our one of our live streams, we kind of narrowed. I think it was yours, Mandy. Didn't we narrow down when we thought that her head had been shaved?
Yes. Well, we had narrowed down that it was sometime in March, and we were curious if it was shaved more than once just because of how short it still was.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that Lisa had clarified on this picture, correct me if I'm wrong, I know you will, that it was taken on Easter Sunday or Easter weekend when they had the thing at church, because that was the outfit she was wearing at church, right?
Hi, Pink Moon.
Hi, Pink Moon. Good to see you. Right, it's still cold in March, and they shaved her head bald. I mean, make that make sense.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
Oh, let's have all those pictures dated in a video.
I think I remember seeing that, and the you had posted some on your community post also. But isn't this the same outfit she was wearing on Easter weekend though, when they were at the church?
March
March
28th,
28th.
Palm Sunday. Thank you, Chapstick.
That's what I thought. So Dawn had told Dawn had told Cher that Candace took this picture of him and he was forced to take it, that it was the last picture that he had taken with Summer, and he knew something bad was going to happen and he was upset. So when you see his face here, he said he was crying in this picture.
Yes,
And let
but
me see.
I found out it was a week after that, just same outfit. She loved that dress.
Right. There's many pictures of her in this dress.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
And see his face. I don't think that he looks like he's crying. I think
No.
he looks like he's exhausted, maybe.
Yeah. He don't look like he's crying. I know. It makes me sad too.
Yeah. The way she's holding on to him so tight, like,
Mm-hmm. Like he's a good person.
right. I mean, children only know what they live,
Right.
and
I have several photos from that day, but I've never shared them. Yeah. If he knew something bad was going to happen, why didn't he protect her? Yep.
well, and he told Candace, that he always had a feeling that something was going to happen to her. And,
Yep.
I told Candace to make sure you watch her.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. And Lisa Kay, I think he enjoyed making shit up like that. And it makes me mad. Why put out lies? How does
Oh,
that help Summer?
yeah, because she's so small, women's warrior. Yeah.
Oh,
The
so, oh
dancing.
yeah.
That's the same. Is that the
It's
same dress you had on in TikTok too?
yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the same leggings? And she didn't have leggings on in the
No,
video.
I don't think she had leggings on. Mm-mm.
Yeah. So I know I have multiple pictures of her wearing that dress, though. I'm pretty sure that was one of her favorites.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's roll. Let me know when you want me to stop again.
Okay.
Well, the boys aren't with Dawn and Candace now, but when they were at home, the law enforcement removed their TV, which it sounded like from that they all three lived on the TV, watching the internet, watching YouTube videos and Minecraft and such. So I'm sure that it was probably really hard for them to be at home without the TV, with mom and dad, with everything that was going on. So to get out of the house and go ride in an airplane or go play putt putt, I think that was healthy for the boys, in my opinion. Okay, July 10th. Please continue prayers that my loving daughter will be home soon, and thanks for continued prayers. And then we have this picture. All right. Then July 10th. He's a poster, man, I'm telling you. If the pain I've been feeling for summer is any indication of what it was that great, or at that day, the great and the terrible day when the Lord returns, which I'm sure of, many will suddenly know and be convicted and know they've turned their back on the living God. It will be too late. According to Revelations, things are going to get way worse. The mark of the beast will be implemented by law. Will be forced by law to worship on Sunday. Saturday is the biblical Sabbath. Please read and know the Bible and don't be fooled by the deceiver. If you need help understanding these things, then I highly recommend the Seventh-day Church. It's going to get nasty and most will be deceived. I pray for you. Oh, man. And see, I'm not going to give my opinion on this. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. Okay. I'm so proud of me for biting my tongue. I just had to put that in there.
Yep,
His typos are so bad.
they are. I know. You have to cipher it out.
Right. And typo text, I'm telling you. Okay, July 11th. With all you people on Facebook, all those eyes out there, she has to be in some creepy basement or put up somewhere. If everyone would ask to search each other's homes across America and get search warrants for the ones, we would find many missing children. This should be law.
Mandy, stop it there.
I can see where he's coming from.
I wanted to talk about this because I was thinking to myself when I first read that, I was like, he really thinks that the military should go in everybody's home and say, knock, knock, knock. I want to search your house for missing children. I mean, he just thinks that
Right.
that can just be, you can just go in somebody's home and do that.
Right. We live in America. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't happen.
I mean, that's an extreme. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's just how my thoughts are. Well, you know, first of all, that starts at home. You protect your children.
Right.
And she just happened to live with monsters, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no protection there for her. But now he thinks that everybody's home should be invaded by the military and law enforcement, and just people should just let them in, and they should go through their, you know, everybody's home, and then you're going to find all the missing children.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what are you thinking? That doesn't even make any sense. But
my main thing I think that stuck out for me was him saying that she has to be in some creepy basement or tied up somewhere. Now, how would you know that, Dawn? Or why would you automatically assume that? You know,
he said that more than once.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, this was the first time.
Yeah.
Of many. Women's Warrior wants to know what everybody thinks happened to Summer.
Go ahead, Mandy. I think me and you have already said, right?
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what happened to her, but in my opinion, she's no longer. And in my opinion, it was June 15th was planned. In my opinion, whatever happened on Tuesday the 15th was scheduled to happen on Monday the 14th. And in my opinion, Candace fudged it up somehow. So they did it on the 15th instead. And I think that they did go all those places that morning so that they would be seen on cameras. And then I think that they I think Candace dropped Grandma Candy off, and she took Summer and met Dawn. I think Dawn left work in a coworker's vehicle or some way, somehow, or if he was driving his truck, because he did tell Josh on the lab and Chris McDonough that he drove the Subaru on Monday,
Yep.
and that would mean that he drove his truck on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
But so I think that he met Candace and got Summer from her, and then he left and drove and met a male, and the male took Summer. And in my opinion, I think that the male took Summer to private property that's not well traveled, there's not a lot of activity on this part of the land.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that she was inside of a homemade wooden box and that she was buried. So that's as far as I've gotten. And the majority of that is from my intuition, from doing readings and
Mm-hmm.
spirit box sessions. So none of it's factual. It's just my opinion.
Right.
And I don't know what happened to her, because in the milk video, I absolutely 1000% believe that that is blood on her jacket. So I don't know if it was like a kidney donation or, something like that gone wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And, her body was not performing the way it should have been after the botched surgery, or I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was severe SA that they couldn't stop the bleeding. I don't know. I've thought multiple different horrendous things. And those are the only options that are like coming to my mind. And I feel like that's from my intuition.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that, um, I don't think that blood got there by accident, like it wasn't. There was something intentionally done, and then the blood came after. Um, so I don't know. Tammy?
Excuse me. Well, I believe I'm along the same lines as you are about the day, um, and that she was handed off. I believe that she was given too much of something, not on purpose. I think that they gave her too much of something, and she passed away. And they had to that messed their plans up, so they had to hand her off to someone else that took care of that part of it. I believe she's in the ground. I believe she's in, and I've said this from the beginning, like like where you put steel, like if you run moonshine or you make moonshine. Um, Back in the day, they used to have big holes in the ground where they would hide their equipment for the winter, so they didn't have to haul that out, because that's a lot of stuff to haul out. And they would hide it in there and just cover it with debris, so it'd be like be a hole in the ground, but they would have stuff in there. So there would probably be wood boxes in there. There would be, metal containers in there, barrels and stuff. And I feel like she's down in there and just covered um, with like a top, but like debris over that, like limbs and
Right.
leaves and stuff.
Brush.
But yeah, and brush. But
Yeah.
now, since she's been there so long, it's probably grass grown over it now. Um, but I do feel she's in the ground. But I think their intentions were something else, and they gave her too much, and she died.
And I think that almost every intuitive person that has touched Summer's case has said that she has passed.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that I have not myself seen anybody in a long time say that they think that she's still out there somewhere alive. Even people who aren't intuitive, that aren't
Right.
psychic mediums or, whatever. So,
That might have been
And
their intention, like, for trafficking, that might have been
mhm,
their intention, but it didn't that's not what happened.
right,
I think their original intention was stopped because I don't think it worked out how they had it planned.
right, right, Carla, like a bunker type area.
Mhm.
There's SRA in that area. What's SRA? I don't know what that means.
Revenue is it revenue authority? They wanted her quiet during transfer so she wouldn't fight, most probably.
Oh,
I
satanic
don't feel
stuff.
she's with us anymore. Aussie doesn't feel that either, yeah. And I believe they knew it from the start, being the reason they never looked for beautiful. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, they know.
exactly.
I mean, they know she's not findable as in like that. You know what I mean? They know.
Mm,
They know. Just like in Sebastian's case, they're not looking for him. Why are they not looking for him? Because
right.
they know.
And you don't look for something you haven't lost.
Right.
And Eve, right, I think all of us are praying. Oh my goodness. I pray that
Mhm.
she is alive and well and happy and thriving somewhere. One of the theories was that um, somebody rescued her, like a rich family
Yeah.
who was better off that could give her better, that, even Dawn had said that they abducted her to give her a better life. I
Mhm.
pray that that is the situation. And I would be ecstatic if in 10 years, 15 years, we hear Summer Wells has been located
Mm,
and, alive and well, and she's an adult now. And like that
yeah.
would be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I'm
just
not
don't feel it.
and I'm definitely not saying she was their plan was to traffic her. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if that was their plan, I feel like it had gotten messed up because they had to change what they were doing. I've always felt that though.
Right. I
It
think
got
it was
messed.
something, whatever they were doing, something went wrong.
Right. Yeah.
Not only did Candace mess up the plan for it to happen on Monday, but also whatever the plan was, Summer, I think Summer started passing away. And
Yeah.
so they knew they had to act quick. And I think that's why it was meant to happen Monday. And, maybe Candace just couldn't let go yet. She just couldn't do it. So,
And that part
I don't,
of it wasn't planned.
right,
Her passing away wasn't planned. So I guess
right,
you could say part of it was planned to do something else, and then she passed away, and I don't think that part was planned.
right. I
But
don't
I think
either.
I think it turned into something else is what I think.
And one of the reasons why I said the organ thing was because the post that Tim Mullen had made um, around that time frame, saying that one of his friends, associates, whatever, children had just gotten their kidney transplant done.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure it was kidney. I'd have to pull the post up again to make sure, but so that, of course, that made me think. But I honestly, during my readings and, trying to use my intuition, I think spirit has kept me protected from seeing exactly what did happen. It
Yeah.
was more like they just kind of like gave me and I think same with Tammy, right? Like they just kind of gave us the outline of what happened
Mhm.
and where she went after,
Yeah. Mandy, it does
unfortunately.
happen. I'm currently putting out a 10-part series of children being found 73 years, 45, 54, 30 years later. So it happens in a case was 2 miles away from home. Yep.
And see, that's awesome. That is so
It is.
awesome. I know that there was that boy that was just found recently that he had been missing, but his mom abducted him. You know, it wasn't a stranger abduction. It seems like when they find missing children alive, it's family abduction. You know, it seems like it's more rare that it's a stranger abduction deal. So I'm excited to see that. I like the happy news. You know, we see so much negative and sad and horrific stuff that it's awesome to have nice, happy news. In the video of her dancing around the barrel, it said for sale during the interview up there with him. Well, Faith, they had that barrel for quite some time before June 15th. I'm pretty sure, wasn't it Lisa K, didn't you say, or was it Chapstick? One of the two. Those two ladies, they know so much more about this case than I do.
Me too.
um, but one of them had said that the barrel was there way before June 15th. And I've never felt that the barrel was involved.
They had that transplant before Summer went missing.
Okay, so see, if it was before and then something went wrong and her body didn't heal as it was supposed to, and she was diminishing, then that would cause for them to plan to do something, because they can't say, oh, well, we did this botched transplant in the basement of this building over here, and, you know, her body's not healing now. And they couldn't take her to the hospital, because if they did, they would say, you know, what's this scar on her stomach here, or, you know, whatever. And so then they would get in trouble for that, you know. And I've never been big on the whole organ thing. I mean, that was just an example of
Right.
me saying what could be a possibility.
Yeah. They said that it said that when they bought it down the road and was already like that. So why cover it later if it was nothing? Good point.
Yeah. I don't know why they would cover it, especially since there was already so much focus put on it.
Mm-hmm. Probably. I have a picture of it the year before it says for sale on it then. Yeah.
See, okay, that's what I was thinking. I knew one of them had it. I knew it was way before. It had been there for a while.
Yeah. Don't you think she was pretty lively in the swimming video, though?
I mean, she was moving okay.
Yeah.
She seemed to be moving okay. But, you know, then that makes me think, too, why'd they put her in the water? I mean, I understand it was June in the middle of the day, but why did they go there, you know, specifically that day?
But didn't she say later that Summer didn't go swimming? In another interview, didn't she say Summer didn't go swimming?
No, she said she never went underwater. Like, she never swam underneath the water. That she would dip her head under and then come right back up. But I don't remember her ever saying that she didn't get in the water at all. I don't know. The person in the swimming video was actually Waylon. I don't think so, Pink Moon. I've studied that video pretty detailed. Like, I think I was one of the first to notice that she had shoes on in that video.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say 98% positive that it was Summer. But I mean, anything's possible. We don't know, you know? So
Yeah.
no, wait. We do know, because law enforcement had actually said that was the last images of Summer.
Oh, yeah, that they did. Yeah.
They never acknowledged the milk video being the last. They only acknowledged the swimming video of being last.
Yeah.
So that would tell me that they confirmed. I mean, unless they didn't look at it close enough, and if it was Waylon, they fooled law enforcement.
Hmm. And I'm sure they looked at. Well, I would hope that they looked at that video in
Great.
in great,
Yeah,
yeah, great detail. I would hope they did.
right. So they painted the barrel purple when they painted the mailbox. So that makes more sense.
Yeah.
They probably used spray paint and they didn't use it all on the mailbox. So they were like, well, let's spray the barrel too. What else can we spray until we run out of spray paint?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You ready?
Yep. Let's go.
Okay. We're not doing too bad. We're 16 minutes in here.
Hey, yay!
It's only an hour long.
Yeah, we're only almost 2 hours into the live, but yeah.
Yeah, and the video is only an hour and 5 minutes. We're making progress. But at the same time, that would be one hard law to pass, in my opinion. Not only is it invasion of privacy, but can you imagine the man hours that would be involved in searching everybody's homes? I mean, even if you just searched just the people in Hawkins County, can you imagine how long that would take? Now, I do know from the case of Abby and Libby in Delphi, which is here in Indiana, same state I'm in, when there was a man that was arrested that lived close to Delphi because he had kidnapped a little girl that was his neighbor. The police went to his house because they were going door to door. They knocked on his door. He spoke to the police, and the police left. Then the police went back to his house again, and they got a feeling. They knew something was off. And they went in, and they found the little girl in the basement. Thank God they found her at the moment that they found her. If it had been 2 minutes later, Lord only knows what he would have done to that child, considering what he had already done to her. So law enforcement can go in a home if they think that there is somebody being held captive. And I don't even know if they got a search warrant before they went back in, or before they went in, when they went back the second time to his house. But I'm so thankful for those officers thinking and going with their training and their knowledge. And I mean, that was, oh my gosh, I get goosebumps every time I talk about that. Okay, now this post was posted by Mike, shared by Stacy, and she tagged Dawn. Okay, and this is about Juanita Louise. And it says, boy, do I have an out-of-this-world story for you. Tuesday, I met an incredible woman, Juanita Louise. I'm not going to butcher her last name. She had traveled to Tennessee to help find Little Summer Moon Utah Wells. You see, this is what she does. She is a psychic investigator from upstate New York, and she brought her incredible friend, Patty Hartel, with her. Juanita asked if I would show them around. I was happy to do so because Summer Wells' story was haunting me. I have a daughter 2 months to the day younger than Summer. I couldn't imagine that baby being lost in the dark, alone, not to mention the pain the family must be in. So I met these two strangers at exit 23 off I-81. Now remember that, 23, LOL. I got in the car, in the back seat, directly behind Juanita. After 5 minutes, she looks in the rearview mirror and says, "Are you okay? Are you having a panic attack?" There is no way she should have known that. I was not acting different, just nervous. She was feeling my anxiety. We pull up near Summer's driveway. She gets out of the car for a few seconds and gets back in. After leaving Ben Hill Road, she starts holding her head, having a very bad head and right eye pain. She knew this was Summer's pain. She said, "I feel like water is running in my mouth." She wasn't choking, but she felt smothered to where she could hardly breathe. When she got to the fork in the road where the stop sign is, this intensified. She turned left and said Summer's name out loud. The pain released from her. Right after that, she felt extreme anxiety and said whoever took her is on the highest dosage of Zoloft. Seconds later, she felt like she was having a panic attack. She was gripping the steering wheel and said her heart was pounding out of her chest. She kept seeing and hearing the color red, and she heard it was an accident. She assumed she was bumped by a vehicle because this is what she said all along. But before she knew anything about Summer's case, right after that, she said, I felt like I was thrown away like trash. She kept seeing a black bag. She felt there was something to do with a side road, but she couldn't find it that day. Oh, man, I just got goosebumps. I'm telling you, the vision where I was shown. Oh, okay. I'm going to keep going. If you haven't watched my second reading video yet, go back and watch it and you'll understand why that just caught me off guard. I haven't read this yet. I'm reading this for the first time with you guys. She also had a connection with 423. And that's area code where Summer went missing. Remember the 23 I was telling you about? Someone had posted Juanita's name on a missing site to help find Summer, so I Googled her and found all the missing people she had located. I called her and asked her if she gets anything from the number 23. She said that's the number I've been looking for. It's my birthday and the area code. I asked her to come to East Tennessee, and she said, Mike, I just left there. I told her I would make sure she had a place to stay when she came back. Her last exit and the place I first met her was exit 23. That number just won't go away. Coincidence or fate, you tell me. She kept talking about horses. Okay, I don't know why Facebook does that to me, but I'm almost back to where I was. Let's see. Okay, she kept talking about horses. I asked her if she had seen the runaway horse on the TBI update on TV. She said no. I told her, and we all had a good laugh. I told her when this happened, I had told my wife that I thought this was a sign from Summer. She started telling me about her Uncle Bob who trained horses. He kept coming through to her, so she was adamant about finding the horses, the side road, and something to do with 423. While driving to Warriors Path Park, we saw a road sign that said Horse Creek. The horses would not go away. We got to Warriors Path Park in Kingsport, Tennessee. While there, she was getting frustrated. She walked all around Duck Island. After an hour of not picking up anything and very confused, we left the park. We went back the next day and we walked Duck Island again. Nothing. She looked at me and said, it's not here. We stopped and watched Jamie Wilson's YouTube video of Summer swimming the day she went missing. Then we noticed some fishermen and asked if they're locals. They said yes. We showed them a picture of the area we were looking for. The fisherman quickly responded, that's over at the horse stables. She looked at me and said, horses, that's our spot. Still confused, we stopped at the campsite and talked to the manager there. She gave us a map to the horse stables. The now world-famous swim hole was a huge disappointment to me. It was a beautiful area, but the trash and nastiness made both of us question why anyone would swim in this water. She found the famous twisted tea can and has it with her. She was looking at the water, telling me it was a bit high. I had told her we had some rain. As we were walking off the path to leave, the head pain came back, and it was hard for her to breathe. We left the park. We could see Walgreens, but she didn't feel like the jugs of milk came from Walgreens or that area. She has a rat terrier puppy and could sense it was getting hungry. We pulled into a Burger King. She noticed and pulled up to Priceless Grocery, where she decided to get milk because she has to have a glass of milk a day. That's unique. My grandmother had to have a glass of milk every day too, but that was because her cancer was attacking her intestines. I wonder why she has to have a glass of milk a day. Does anybody know? That's interesting. Okay. Thinking of Summer with the milk next to her, she put the milk to her face. It was ice cold, too cold to chug. She walked out the right side door, tried to drink the milk, but it was too cold to drink. It was so cold that if placed against her face while she was asleep, she would wake up in a split second. Stay tuned for what happened next. At home, and the next day, Tuesday, I met an incredible woman, Juanita Louise, and her last name. She had traveled to Tennessee to help find Little Summer Moon Utah Wells. You see, this is what she does. She is a psychic investigator from upstate New York. Okay, wait, is this the same thing? It's like the post times two? Yeah, okay, day 2. So it looks like he copied and pasted it. Okay, day 2 with Juanita Louise in the psychic search for missing 5-year-old Summer Wells. In this part, I have to leave off some of the information, names, exact locations, etc. She was led to a dumpster behind a business with no surveillance cameras. She decided to get out of the car because this business was closed around 5 p.m. She walked up to the dumpster and felt pain in her breast and her first and second ribs, like a pressure type of pain. She felt a spirit in her face, which is how they connect with her. She walked to the other side of the dumpster. Her left hip started hurting her. She had to wait a few seconds and get back in, or she had to wait a few seconds to get back in the car. As she is an evidential medium, she picks up energies, old and new. What'd you click on?
Hmm?
What'd you click on?
I'm just clicking. I don't know.
It just took my there it goes. Okay.
There you
When
go.
you go to the media assets,
Yeah.
it says logo, and then it has a drop down arrow, and then the next thing down is overlay.
Yeah, I know, but it's not letting me do that. Even that's where I'm at, and it's not letting me do that. It's not. I mean,
Okay.
when I choose, it still has the logo down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll play with it after then.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll put
Okay.
it.
It should let you take it off. It
Yeah.
should let you.
Yeah. It's not letting me.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah. Because when I click on it, it's still there. And then when I go to the other one, it's still there.
Well, it took it off when you put the big picture up.
Right. But it also took off your thing. So.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's
Okay.
covering it. Yeah.
We'll play with it afterwards. I just saw the screen change and I was like, "Wait, where'd we go?"
Yeah. That's the only two options it gave me. Yeah.
That's so weird.
It is.
Okay. All right. Um Right. Okay, Don was mad. He
Yeah.
was
He was.
seriously
Yeah.
mad.
Yeah. He
Like,
was.
Juanita was down there walking the fields and everywhere, and he still like, he would bring it up nonstop. "Well, these psychics and everything."
Mhm.
He did not like that she came down there.
No, and he likes, like, you'll see, I don't know if it's this video or the next one. I think it's this one though. He'll somebody, the man that has the dream and
But
tells Don. Well, Don is like, he's a, what did he call him?
a
Uh,
prophet?
Commandment keeper.
Oh, okay.
So he's a commandment keeper, even though he had a dream and told Don about it, and Don accepts this dream and believes it. So he's a commandment keeper, not a psychic. So
Right,
he
and
just changes the name to make it fit what he believes.
yeah, Tammy and I talked about that. We don't understand the difference because I've also heard people call them prophets. I've heard them call them messengers, and I'm like, that it's all the same. Mediums, psychic mediums.
Mhm.
Now, psychics and mediums are different. If
Right.
you're a medium, you're a psychic. But if you're a psychic, you're not necessarily a medium.
Yeah.
So, and that was something I learned after I was told that I was a psychic medium. I had to go research it and figure it out.
Right.
But yeah, so, prophet, messenger, and somebody else, another person had come in and told me that I was a messenger. And I was like, okay, I like that. I mean, I'm bringing you messages from spirit. So
Right.
that works.
Yeah.
But no matter what you call us, even if it's a bad name, we're still psychic mediums.
Right.
You have intuition. Everybody has intuition, and it just depends. Like, you can feel energy around you. If you're in a room and you feel somebody walk into the room with you, you don't hear them, you don't see them, but you feel them. That's their energy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
spirit is the same way. Spirit carries that energy also. So it's just like our intuition is more open to where we can feel that spirit energy.
Yes.
So
Yep.
and just like the dreams, I have visions. I've been shown visions, and many of them have been validated later on by law enforcement confirming factual information in the case. It's like a dream.
Yeah.
When I do a reading, it's like a dream. I go into a very relaxed state, and if I don't write everything down right then, I will not remember it later.
Yeah. Yeah. I have to write it down too.
Right. And
Yeah.
so it's like a dream. And I've always been that way. When I have a dream, if I don't tell somebody about it immediately and I end up going back to sleep, when I wake up again, I cannot remember the dream for the life of me, to
Yeah.
the point I started a dream journal because
Mhm.
my dreams were so wild. I had no idea I was a psychic medium though.
Yeah. Right. I know.
So
Yep.
I was having all these messages brought to me and I didn't even know that I was supposed to be delivering them to people.
Yeah. Well, I get messages and I don't even know who to, sometimes I may not ever know who to give them to.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
They're
yeah,
writ-
I've done that too.
they're written down, but I mean,
Yep.
I don't know who I'm going to give them to. Lisa K, did Ernie bring Juanita in?
I don't think so.
No, what was who did she, that guy right there, right? Mike,
Yeah, it was this guy
Mike,
reached out.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that gave her the tour, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he said in this post here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting going back and listening to this again because, I mean, this is, like I said, this has been almost 4 years ago. It's like hearing this story for the first time all over again, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true, Bellanova. Yep.
Yep. We agree for sure.
And God gives people get those gifts
That's right.
to use them, I use mine for the good. I always have and I always will. That's why I have
Mm-hmm.
the Looking Glass Hero for my missing videos, because that's why I started it. That's why I started that channel, was for missing people. So yeah, I always thank him for my gift and let it and helping me to use it for the good. Lead, guide, and direct me and use it for the good.
Right. Yeah, and I've had people say, you're talking to demons. If you're a psychic, then you're talking to the devil. And I'm
What?
like, no, I'm not.
No, I'm
I
not.
God loves me, and I love God, and God
Right.
gave me these abilities. So
Exactly.
what you talking about?
God, the devil don't give you gifts, for sure.
Right.
For
The
sure.
devil's not going to give you something that you can use it to help people for the good. I mean,
No,
come on now.
no, he surely
And
is.
I've never used my abilities in any way to harm somebody, to cheat somebody, to
Right.
benefit myself,
Yeah.
none of that.
No,
So I would be scared to even try to do
I would
something like
too.
that.
Boy, because I believe in that thing called karma.
Absolutely.
Because
Karma.
whatever you put out there, you are going to get back. It's guaranteed. Whatever you put out there, you
Yep.
got back.
Yes,
It's
I
karma. It's a
absolutely
thing.
agree.
It's a thing. I'm telling you.
I think karma is a beautiful power that it comes at just the right time. You'll be sitting there like, why hasn't karma hit yet? Maybe I could help karma, speedy, more
Yeah.
a little speedier, come on in here and let's do this. But I don't, because I know it's not my responsibility. It's all up in the universe. It's got to do its route and do its thing.
Yep.
And so I just have to sit back and wait and watch it happen. And that's good or bad.
Right.
It just depends on, that's why I end every video and live stream that I do. And I say, may you have the kind of day that
Mm-hmm.
karma feels you have earned.
Yep. Yep. And faith, that is so true. I mean, and just because we're psychic mediums doesn't mean we're going to know everything, because there's some
Yep.
things God and Spirit's not going to tell you that you're just not meant to know or see. So, that doesn't mean we think we know and see everything, because there's some things they're not going to tell us.
Right.
It's just not meant for us to know.
Right.
I don't think so. What, Lisa K?
And that's one thing that, I get a comment on my channel. Oh my goodness, way too often, saying, well, if you're psychic, why don't you know where summer is?
Yeah.
Well, because it doesn't work that way.
No. God only gives the gifts we can handle. Everything happens for a reason. So true, Aussie. But
That's
they're not
right.
gonna believe us anyway. Even if we told them where we thought summer was at, they would be like, "Oh, we don't, you're crazy.
Hmm.
We're not gonna believe." They would believe you anyway.
Right. I mean, even when, perfect example, okay? My most viewed video on my channel right now, it has over 56,000 views, and it was my video about Kylie Rodney. We've
Mhm.
been talking a lot about Gabby Petito today,
Yeah,
but
we have.
it was about Kylie Rodney. I had a vision of Kylie Rodney in the very, very back end of her vehicle, in almost like a fetal position. And a little over a week later, that's exactly where she was found. So that's a perfect example of I was shown where she was, but I didn't know where her vehicle was. I just
Right.
knew she was in the back end of her vehicle.
Yeah.
So Spirit didn't show me the whole reservoir and that she was 14 feet away from the bank and
Mhm.
all of that, but I knew that she was in the back end of her vehicle. So when they did find her, and that's where she was, and that's the position basically that she was in, I was like, oh my gosh. And I
Yeah.
have documentation, like I have proof. I think that's why it is one of my most viewed videos, because I made a community post, and so it's dated when I said it, when I put it on there, and then when they found her.
Right.
So you can't dispute it. It's the facts are there, you know? I
You're
didn't
right,
make it
Lisa
up.
Kay. That is 100% correct.
Absolutely.
100%
Absolutely.
correct. Mm,
Yes.
that's right, Bella. Yeah. And me and Mandy's going to get together either on her channel or my other channel and have a discussion about this. So
Right.
if you like and believe in that kind of stuff, please come over, because I'm hoping in the next few weeks I can plan to do that.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun.
Fun.
And we're also going to try to get, one thing that kind of helps psychic mediums is validation. And we both have validation. We both have done readings, or in my case, I've done spirit box sessions. And there's been multiple times that law enforcement has validated the things that we have said. So it's not just like one random thing here or there that we quote unquote got right. Like there's multiple things in different cases that were validated by factual information. So we're going to try to do that. That's going to be a ways down the road, because it's going to take us time to be able to get each case that we had the validation in, and get the date and proof of when we said what we said, and then when we had law enforcement give us the validation, and try to gather all of that and do it cohesively, so we can work through it and
Yeah. Yeah.
make it make sense.
Make it make sense. But here
Make
she's fixing to show you. This is the video where she's actually walking through there, right? Is that this one?
I don't remember.
I think it
I
is.
think so.
I'm pretty sure this is the one where you get to see her walking down by the creek.
Yeah, I think so, because this is when she only went down there, I think twice, maybe.
Because she's not from that area, is she?
No,
Yeah.
no. She had to travel there.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Yep. Okay, let's hit play. Ready?
Yes. Before the squirrel comes back.
That's right. She had to wait a few seconds and get back. That squirrel had a crystal ball. Okay, it was shiny. She had to wait a few seconds to get back in the car. As she is an evidential medium, she picks up energies, old and new, if they've been around the area. Dogs pick up scents. She picks up energy. She took photos of that area the day before as well as that day. That night, she decided to do some spirit channeling with 3 different spirit boxes at the same time. She would ask her spirit guides to help Summer give us location or a description of whatever she could see around her. When she asked her what happened, Summer replied, accident. This is something Juanita has said since before she came down here. This is so interesting. I would love for Juanita to watch my spirit box session that I did asking Summer all those questions and see if any of it resonates with her. Because Summer gave me a lot of information about her location too. Okay, Juanita asked Summer, where are you? And she replied, cold, rain, dirty, scared, tools, alignment, brakes. My bones hurt, hide now, beware. She asked if Daddy did it, and Summer replied, no, no, no. Okay, I just want to do a quick clarification. Most of the time when we are talking about doing a session of some kind and we say we spoke to the victim, that means that that the victim could be deceased and we could be speaking with the victim, or We could be speaking to our own spirit guides. We
Mm-hmm.
could be speaking to the victim's spirit guides. We
Mm-hmm.
could be speaking to angels, ancestors. Somebody in spirit form is giving us this information.
Right.
So I didn't clarify that in a lot of my earlier videos. Um, and I found out that it's important because otherwise, people are saying that I'm saying definitely that the victim is deceased.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm not saying that, we can do readings on live people. We could do a reading. I've done live readings, and Tammy, I know you have too, right?
Yep.
So we can speak to spirit guides of living people or deceased people,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I just wanted to clarify that, and just for those, that may not know, or those in the back that may try to bitch about it later. She asked where she was last seen, and Summer said Warriors. She asked, "Who am I speaking with?" She replied, "Summer." She also mentioned Miss Robin, her Saturday school teacher, and Summer replied, "Alphabet pencil." She asked Summer who did it, and Summer did tell her. I'm sorry, my heart tells me not to put this person's name out here or out there at this time. I just can't." I bet I know who it is. Summer said after that, "Maggots scared dirty my bones and hurt." She asked Summer again if said person did this to her, and the reply back from Summer was blank said person is guilty. The next day as we got up, I told her I knew a shortcut from Greenville to Churchill that went through Ben Hill Road. Remember the 23 and the back road that Juanita was looking for? Let's just say it was exactly 23 miles from the site to Ben Hill Road, taking the shortcut, the back road. That was her 23 and the side road she had been looking for. Oh my goodness, I just got goosebumps again. There were 4 people in the vehicle. That was her 423. He put 433, but I know he meant 423. She did a shout out to get a certain address just to see if she could pick up any energy. The response was an apartment complex. She couldn't pick up on any energy there and was getting frustrated again. All she said, all she could say was, "If there was a police chase here, how would you do it?" It was like a maze. When finally finding the address she was looking for, she took her puppy for a walk to potty. This gave her enough time to pick up on energies. When she came back, my arm was bleeding pretty bad, and Patty Hartel had a spot on her hand that was bleeding. She said it was like Spirit said, someone in that area had blood on their hands. Honestly, if this had not happened to me and I saw it firsthand, I wouldn't believe any of it. Oh, I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
After that, she went back to pack as she was leaving the next day. A friend of hers had a video of Allison talking, so she remembered the man at the business telling her they closed the shop at 5 p.m. She started adding up miles and times from the business to Ben Hill Road and from the other residence to Ben Hill Road and all locations in between, trying to get a time frame before the 911 calls. She noticed there was a lacking of time after listening to Allison's interview. That's when it took her back to the TikTok video that a friend sent that she had studied. She didn't know anything about it, but responded to her friend, "This looks staged." She didn't know how they could do a TikTok when none of us could get service at the swimming hole at Warriors Path Park near the horse stables. Then we found out that you have to make the video, then upload it to TikTok. She spent 3 days and 2 nights driving hours on the road researching. After looking at the TikTok video and pictures, she is not a medical expert, but she can taste, feel, hear, see, touch, smell, and sense energies and pain, which tells her the story. She assumed the milk up against her, that Summer's arm had fell down and her hands appeared swollen. Juanita thinks her fingernails are discolored. That's so weird that this part of the post says that when I just pointed out Summer's fingernails on that last picture. No such thing as coincidences. Everything happens for a freaking reason. Okay. The side of her mouth under her bottom lip looks like a rash. After she stated before the head pain she felt could have caused respiratory failure. She didn't feel that she was choking on water. She has covered drowning cases before. I had to leave a lot of details and information out of this post for obvious reasons, but rest assured, this has been handed over to the right people and will be back very soon. I feel this case is close to being solved, and Summer Moon Utah well is being found. The above are things that all 4 of us experienced and what the spirits showed Juanita. Just being around here for this time has changed the way I look at the world. I can safely tell you there is a higher power out there, and it works through spirits and guides. Amen. Some people may call it black magic, but it is not. It is only used for the good and light. I ask you to read this with an open mind, and in the end, we will all see the results. Amen. Please keep little Summer and her family in your prayers. I pray this baby is still alive and safe, and she is wrong. Sorry, Juanita, but from what I've seen, it doesn't look good. I have a daughter exactly 2 months younger than Summer, as I said in my last post, so this hits close to home. So hug your babies, as I experienced in May. You never know how quickly life can change. God bless. And then he has a bunch of pictures here. Juanita commented, it's the first comment down here. I just figured out all my whys and sent out my full report. And if nothing is done, I'm going to the press. Wow.
Hey, Mandy.
Yes, ma'am.
We never did hear anything about that. She never did go to the press, did she?
No, ma'am.
I didn't think so. Because when I read that the first time, I was like, she didn't go to the press. I wonder what changed her from going to the press.
Mm-hmm. My guess would be something that might have had to do with threats, because I know she was getting a lot of pushback after
Okay.
being down there. But I'm curious what else she found out, and all of her whys that she got answers to. I'm curious about those too.
Yeah, I wish she would have too, Bella, because when I, was going over there, so I'm like, she never did go to the press. And I also, the apartment complex is very different because there was never any of that anywhere. Nobody mentioned an apartment complex and anything.
At all. Like,
No.
I don't even know what apartment complex they're talking about.
Yeah. So that caught me. I'm like, what? I said, I never even felt like there was an apartment complex even in the scenario for myself. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So I don't even know what would make her go there.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I just thought it was because she never said where it was at. So it's just kind of odd.
Right. Well, and I think also with when I was going through and watching Juanita and, reading stuff like this, I was so new to knowing about my abilities that she was the experienced psychic medium,
Right.
and I
Right.
was new. I was the rookie, or, whatever. And
Right.
so I didn't question too much of her stuff. I just believed it because I believed in psychic mediums,
Right. Right.
So I don't know a whole lot more than the little bit that we've heard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The baby kitty.
Yeah. I don't know why he's sitting there meowing at me. I mean,
He
we have
said, "Has it been 4 hours yet, Mama?"
they have a climbing post, like the corner where the wall and this little cubby meets is a corner. So I put it's that cat stuff that they can claw on. So I made it a climbing post so they can get in the loft that's above me, so they can go up and down. And the original one that was there got, it started tearing up. So me and my husband replaced it with a new one, and they act like I redid the whole wall.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
they act like that's a foreign object, and all I did was replace the climbing carpet on there for them. So now,
Aw.
now they complain about it, and I'm like,
They
you know what? That's for you. That's climbing carpet. It's for cats. It's made for you. You're gonna have to learn how to climb it. I'm just like, I just don't understand it. You would have thought I just tore the wall down and built a whole different wall. All I did was recovered it, and they act like I did
Aw.
kryptonite up there or something.
And they're like, "Mom, we took all these years breaking that carpet in, and
Yeah,
then you go and replace it?"
yeah. They had shredded the other one. It was like coming apart. And I'm like, oh, God, y'all got to have another one. So I bought another one to put up there. And it's the same stuff they put on scratching posts for cats. So I thought, well, that's cool. And they make it for walls and furniture and stuff. So I just bought a roll of it for that corner, and now they act like they don't know what it is. I was invited by a certain psychic to travel there to search for summer. However, I had a really bad feeling and knew I wasn't supposed to go. Yeah.
Well, you always have to trust your gut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know that there were, like I said earlier, there were multiple psychics that were there, that went there, and I can recall 2 others. I can't remember their names right off the bat, but I do remember of at least 2 other ones that had gone down there.
If you look in private chat, I put one in there. I just didn't want to say their name on here.
I gotcha.
Yeah. I didn't want to give them any.
Right. I forgot about that one. That one.
Yeah, it was shredded all right. I mean, it was it wasn't even sticking to it was halfway gone. It wasn't even sticking to the post. And I was like, y'all got to have some more. And now they act like it's kryptonite or something up there. We can't climb on this stuff. Well, you better learn to.
We have to go back through all the scratching again, Mom. This isn't fair.
Bellanova says she knows who.
And so does Pink Moon.
And so does Wolfie.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. And I'm not doing advertising here. Nope.
Right. I'm not either. That woman took my money and
not today, Satan.
That's right.
Not today, Satin.
That's right. We're not messing with Satin today, okay?
No,
it's not happening.
Nope.
Yeah, I performed my own little test with that, and I lost $20 in the process.
Mm.
You live and you learn.
You live and you learn. Yep. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
You ready for more?
I am.
Okay. Let me get back over here. Wow. It says it was 2 weeks ago.
What?
Oh, shit. I didn't know that she was there 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
when she had commented.
Now you're
No, that was Mandy in the past. When she made that comment, it was 2 weeks prior, and and still hadn't gone to the news about it. So that kind of shocked me a little bit that she hadn't gone to the news yet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm not supposed to be going through comments. I'm sorry. Okay. We're going to scroll through these pictures really quickly. There's the watering hole, you guys. That's where Summer was supposedly swimming that day. That nasty-ass water. And all that trash around. Why would any parent let their child be barefoot out there? It just doesn't make sense to me. I'm not going to watch every video in full. I may not even look at every picture. I'm just wanting to see what they have on here. And then there's sound.
The area.
And do what?
That is a nasty area.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about it, how nastier it is, because they would take the horses down there to get in the water. So there's horse shit all over the place.
I was just fixing to say that. Yeah. Yep.
Which means it can't smell good either.
Ugh.
But Candace liked going there because there weren't people there, because she didn't enjoy being around people.
Well, of course there wasn't people there.
Right. There's a reason.
Crap.
Exactly. I guess, she might have been used to the manure smell. I mean, they did have a lot of dogs,
Yeah, but
different
yep. I mean, common.
different strength
Yeah.
of manure smell, but still,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Mm. Oh my God.
Okay. We keep going.
Me either, Wolfie.
I told you guys she's putting miles on those kicks. That must be the Walgreens. Oh, I like that Spirit Box app. Forest. I haven't used that app for a while. I need to break that out again. The dumpster. Stop it. Are you serious? Oh my gosh. Seriously, I have goosebumps all over, like chills all over my body right now. Oh my gosh. This app is legit. Like it shows some words that throws me off, but it's legit. When it said my name, I knew it was legit. It said my name to save Robbie and Meeksy when they were at the Watts house, and I was in the chat of a live stream. I'm telling you, I was talking to Robbie, and Robbie had said something to me, and then my name came across the screen. He never said my name, though. I don't think. Leave Now and Jaden. Warrior. Alexandra. Bridge. Oh, Summer Moon. Bridge. Cows. Alexandra. Alignment. Michael. Police. Manifest. Alignment. Because. Please out. Cows. Bridge. Answer me. Alexandra. Was there a person named Alexandra with them? Vast. Cold air. There's a heart-shaped leaf in that picture. Warrior, forest, choke, storm, choke, storm, forest, summer, forest, summer. A lot of these look like repeat pictures. Mommy, and she is guilty. There it is. Oh, it's all the way at the bottom of the screen. I'll click on it. There it is. This was on July 9th. Okay, and I don't even... Isn't that wild? Like, that still shocks me. Bellanova, the app is called Ghost Hunting.
Hunting. Yeah, ghost hunting. Yep.
And the little icon, it's blue with a handprint on
A
it.
handprint. Yeah.
I love that. That was one of the very first Spirit Box apps I started using. And
my first one too. Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
But that isn't that weird? And I think that why there were so many duplicates of the same word in different pictures is because they were using two phones, and I think it was showing the same word was showing up on both phones.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think it's a black background with a blue hand.
Oh, mine's showing. Well, yours is an iPhone. Mine is an Android. So it could be different because I'm looking at mine right now and it's a blue background with the black hand, and then it has a black circle around the edge.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's called Ghost Hunting Tool.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's good. It's available in both of the Play stores, depending on which one you have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, Tammy and I are here to help in all the possible ways. Absolutely, Wolfie. I say a prayer of protection before I do everything.
Yeah, I know those too. Those are good too.
I love Sear.
Mhm. I get some sometimes on the I don't use those as much as I do, Necrophonics. I use that
Mhm.
more. But if I ever use, the seer where the pictures come up, I've
Mhm.
had some pretty, um, weird pictures I had actually had, and I have to send them to you, Mandy. I had before the DC plane crash.
Uh-huh.
I had 4 pictures come into me, and I was like, "Why am I getting these?" But one was a plane on fire.
Oh my.
One was or 2 of them was military, like, doing, like, a group, like a battalion or a group of, military people, or soldiers, and then the other 2 were one was, a building, and then the other one was just, like, 2 like, one was a plane and a helicopter, then one was a plane, and then one was, military soldiers, and the other one was just, like, 2 military soldiers by itself, and I'm like, "This is so weird." Never thought a thing of it, and then the plane crash happened, never thought a thing of it, and then the other day, I was going through my phone to get rid of pictures, and there they were, and I was like, "Are you serious?"
Oh my goodness.
He's telling me something, and I was just, like, not even knowing. I'll send you
Right.
I'll send you the pictures that you'll be quite surprised. I was.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, I use Seer in a reading that I did for Sebastian, and that was pretty wild. So I have a video on my channel about the Seer session that I did, and Seer is in the title. And then shortly after I made that video, I also did a live stream about it, and it was one of our power panels. And the pictures that I got, one of them was the outside of a building that had multiple windows strategically. And then there were 2 other ones that were inside of some type of log cabin looking thing.
Yeah.
Um, and then the other one was a woman sitting in a chair in her jammies. She had a 2-piece satin jammy set on. Her shirt, it was like a button up pajama shirt.
Yeah.
And on the table, there was a round table beside her. And on the table, there was this humongous, what we thought was a wine glass. And it was halfway full of something dark. Well, when I was on panel with Brittany, she saw the wine glass and she was like, "Oh my gosh, Mandy, do you not remember seeing that when they did their very first news interview?" And I was like, "No." So she pulled it up and she showed me on the buffet behind or to the side of Chris and Katie in their
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
news interview. There is a wine goblet sitting on the buffet and it was halfway filled with something dark.
I remember that. Yeah.
I was like, that is so wild. And then the building, um, we ended up looking around the campground where Chris's RV was parked, and there are 2 buildings that have windows very, very similar to the building that showed up in my seer. And then um, the 2 log cabin looking pictures, Brittany pulled up the inside of the log cabins at the Yogi Bear campground where Chris was parked with his RV, and they looked almost identical. Like there was so much wood and, like everything was made out of wood pretty much in the pictures. And in one of the pictures, there was a male holding something that looked very similar to a shovel. And that was when Silvers on the Scene had just purchased his shovel.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, go check them out later after we finish here or tomorrow, whatever. Like, there's a short video that explains and shows all of the stuff. And then there's the live stream was like 8 hours long, but the seer part was right in the beginning. And it was a power panel party that we did live stream.
Was I on that one?
I was trying to remember. So I know John Q was there, Brittany was there, Justin was there. And that's all I can remember right off the bat
I might
without
have
going
been
back.
there earlier and left because, usually I couldn't hang with all y'all. I mean, I
Well,
couldn't hang that late, Yeah.
it was right in the beginning, because I surprised everybody because, some of our friends don't believe in psychics, and I don't think that they realize that Tammy and I are psychics. Um, so I kind of sprung it on them that I was going to review the seer pictures. I didn't tell anybody, but I had to because it was the reason why I did was also because the Reckoning Co. is a bigger channel and she does card readings, and she did a drawing of a place that she felt drawn to. And her drawing led to one of the two buildings that had the windows like what showed up in my seer session. And Silvers was out there showing that building after she did her reading. Somebody had sent her video to him. So he went to that building. And so I was like, now why is spirit leading both of us there? She and I
Right.
both were drawn to that huge building.
Yeah. Yep.
So there was a whole method to my madness of why I shared it all, but it was so crazy. I don't believe in coincidences. So
Yeah.
for that picture of that building to show up, and then those two log cabin pictures, and then the wine goblet sitting next to a female in her jammies, allegedly Katie was talking to Chris on the phone.
Right. Yeah.
And
Allegedly. Yep.
there was a paper, like a package of papers or a packet of papers, whatever, on the table right beside her, also beside the wine goblet thing. And Katie was allegedly studying for her class. So it was crazy, crazy, crazy. I'll grab the links and share them before we end if anybody wants to specifically go look at, go watch those videos after we finish here. So just remind me, I'll forget.
Okay. Okay.
My long memory and all.
Right.
All right. Ready to play?
Yeah, I am squirrels.
I'm telling you, they just keep coming. I can't avoid the crystal ball. I can't.
I know. I know.
I don't even know why I was drawn to this post because this wasn't posted by Dawn. But I know that Dawn made posts about Juanita Louise and all of the people that have clear senses and that are psychic and da 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 da. So I wanted to bring this in here as we're going through his post. Okay, so that was July 11th. All right. On July 11th, Dawn Wells posted, "They send our military to fight terrorism all over the world. Why can't they send them to fight terrorists in our own country? Is our country that far gone? Our children were born free in America, yet we are allowing terrorists to abduct them, rape them, kill them, and who knows what sort of terror they go through. Shameful." And again, and that was tagged. Okay, July 12th. An older gentleman said he dreamed of Summer last night, and Summer asked him to ask me. Here's the post that you were talking about, Tammy.
Yep.
Dreamer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go back just so that we can make sure we hear it all. But this is, listen closely.
Yes.
And again, and that was tagged. Okay, July 12th. An older gentleman said he dreamed of Summer last night, and Summer asked him to ask me if I was taking care of her, Yucky. I wrote him back, Yucky was her dog. He replied that he thought it was such a strange name, but never thought it could be a dog. She couldn't say Lucky, so we went with Yucky. He said it was a beautiful dream, and she was very happy and kept sending her daddy kisses. I don't know this man from Adam, but I asked him if he was a commandment keeper, and he said yes. I believe him. There's no way he could have known this. I've been asking for God for something. Thank you, God. We love you and worship you. Okay, so how is this any different? This man had a dream about Summer. How is this any different than what psychics get? Boom. This is your intuitive mind. This
very
is a
wise
spirit coming
lady
to you
right
in your.
there.
But
It's a
this is
very
okay.
wise lady.
Do what?
That's a very wise lady right there.
I'm telling you, calling out all the stops here. How is it? He used his intuition in the dream, and that was acceptable because he was a commandment keeper. Well,
Right.
we're commandment keepers too, okay?
Exactly. He's just justifying it by naming it something different.
Exactly.
That's all he's doing.
Hey, Chris.
Hi,
That's right.
Chris.
Signs everywhere, signs. Exactly. I haven't heard that song in a long time. I need to hear that song.
Welcome, Chris. Welcome.
Okay, here we go. We're doing really good. 41 minutes, Tammy.
Yes.
We might make it through this whole one.
We might. We might.
This older gentleman, obviously has clairsenses also. So how is he any different than any other psychic that has the clairsenses also? Because he's not calling himself a psychic or a reader or a paranormal investigator. So he's okay just because he told you that he only had one dream. But he knew something about you that nobody else would know, right? People do have abilities. The word psychic scares people away, in my opinion. Now, when Dawn and Candace have dreams, I'm struggling. Is it because Summer's on their mind all day, every day? And so that's just what they dream about? Because, they wish that she was back with them. And I do believe wholeheartedly, no matter what happened or who did it, I do believe that Dawn and Candace wish that Summer was back home with them. I really do. But that doesn't change what I believe happened. Okay, let's see. Or my point was, are they having dreams about Summer because of that? Or are they having dreams about Summer because she's really coming in spirit and visiting them in their dreams? If that's the case, then Dawn and Candace have clairsenses too. Stop it right now. Are you kidding me? Goodness. How do you guys feel about that? If somebody has a dream about somebody who has passed, do you see that as totally not anything in the clairsenses realm? Totally not psychic in any way, shape, or form? Or do you see that it means that they do have those abilities, but they just haven't opened their mind to it yet? Because in my opinion, I think that they just haven't opened their mind to it. One of my first signs of me having clairsenses was me having dreams about people that had passed away. And all 3 times that I was pregnant, I had a dream that told me I was pregnant. I had not had a pregnancy test with any of my 3 pregnancies. I had a dream. And then I went and had a test done after I had that dream. That's how strong the dream was for me. Okay, so July 12th. I think these dreams, mine, my wife's, and now this good person in Florida. I don't know. I think that my daughter is thinking or dreaming of how her life was. I believe she's in serious trouble. I pray that the great God of Israel, the living God, will please, I beg and plead with you, Lord of Lords, please bring these abductors down speedily. Please, Lord, end this for the sake of the remnant or small amount of Christians still left in our country. My goodness. So Don thinks that there's no religious people. There's no Christians. Never mind. We're going to keep going. For their sake, Lord God, please let this nightmare be over. Lord God, the mighty one, King of kings, we praise you. We praise and love you. Lord God, thank you. July 12th. Why did Hunter's family suddenly turn on us after Summer's disappearance? Isn't that the $1,000,000 question? Okay, wait a minute. Don Wells? I'm sorry. Okay, I was thinking something different. Never mind. I'm surprised that he thinks that there's very few Christians left. But yet, he also said that, didn't he say that they didn't realize how many good Christian people were around them right after Summer vanished? When they did the news interview 13 days later. This is a month later. And he's saying that there's only a few people that are religious. I mean,
yeah.
The logic.
Well, one of them ain't him.
Absolutely. Ding,
And
ding,
I
ding.
and I agree with Summer. I'm with Summer. I agree with Pink Moon.
Uh-huh.
I think she does. I think she does.
Yep, I do too.
And he's always saying, he's always like begging for the person, whoever it is, please bring Summer back. Please bring Summer back. Well, it's almost like he's asking that person to step forward and say what they done, say where she's at. Like, because like you said, I don't think he exactly knows where she's at.
Right. I think he knows what happened to her, but
Right.
he doesn't know where she is. I think that's why they handed Summer off to a third person so that the third person could put her somewhere, and then Dawn and Candace can honestly say that they don't know where she is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he probably is. I agree. He is having nightmares, but I think Summer's in his nightmares because um I don't think he rests peacefully, and I hope he keeps not resting peacefully, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
You know, I hope he does, but I think he's saying he wishes somebody would come forward and say where she's at, but because he don't know. I think he really wants somebody to come forward and say where they think she's at, but I don't think he knows.
Mm-hmm. Or he doesn't know for sure. Okay, like we both agree on that. Um, but he could be saying it because he knows nobody will come forward.
Right. Yeah.
He knows
Exactly.
only one person knows where she is, and that guy sure isn't going to come forward just because Dawn's begging for somebody to come
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah. Just like he don't want him to go to jail. Well, of course not, because you know who it is.
Mm-hmm.
Who doesn't want their kidnapper of their child to not go to jail or prison, or who?
I would want worse than that.
Yeah.
Like, prison would be good for them.
Because he's like, prison is not a good place, or how did he put it? It's not a good place or nice place
Mm-hmm.
or something. And I'm like, well, it's not supposed to be.
Right. He wouldn't wish prison on anyone.
Right. That's what he said. Yeah.
And I don't see how, like, I don't I will never understand that. If
Mm-mm.
somebody harmed, God forbid, somebody harmed one of my loved ones, children, family members, spouse, it doesn't matter. I would
Mm-hmm.
want them under the jail, not
Yeah.
inside of it.
Yeah. I wouldn't have sympathy for him whatsoever.
Right. And no, I've never been to jail. I've never been in prison.
Either. No.
But I think that he knows what happens to people that
Mm-hmm.
hurt children in prison.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and he's scared to go back himself. That man is definitely not institutionalized whatsoever because he's a big freaking crybaby about, well, I couldn't wish that on anyone.
Yeah.
I've been there. I know how bad it is. I just hope they can find it in their hearts.
If somebody kidnaps a child, they don't have a heart to where they're gonna bring them back. That's just not
Exactly.
that's just not gonna happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm. Me too, Chris. Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay. I'm going to keep playing.
Yes, ma'am.
July 14th. Now that was when Dawn was silent. July 12th through July 14th. And I believe that he was in Facebook jail because he posted some other stuff about Hunter. And I believe I put that stuff in my other video about the showing the interviews and Dawn and Candace's words. So check that out if you want to see what was posted about Hunter's family. All you people spreading lies. Don't you know people believe these lies? People are threatening to kill us now. Thanks a lot. We still have 3 boys to raise. Isn't it bad enough we lost our daughter? Suppose not to evil people. I do have to agree with this post a little bit, because I do not like when people say things as fact that they have heard as rumor. And then people hear that, they hear the person say, oh, this is a fact. And then people get pissed, and then they go after people. That's why I beg and plead to each of you in the majority of my videos that I've been making lately. We, the people of YouTube, cannot serve justice for Summer. We have to support law enforcement to do that. Please do not try to take it into your own hands. Nobody should be making death threats to anybody, period, ever. Please do not threaten anybody with violence or death, please. And I know that a lot of you that listen to my videos would never do that. So, if I'm not talking to you, I'm just surprised that people go to this level. Okay, let's see what's next. And I still agree with that today. Please do not harm, harass, intimidate, threaten, bully anybody that we talk about. This is speculation. We don't know anything as a fact other than what we do know as a fact about Don and what he did. But we still don't want you to, and nobody here would, but anybody who may be listening or listening on the replay, don't do any of those things. Please. Thank you. Let the justice system work. Hopefully it will.
Yeah.
If not, karma will. Good old karma.
Good old karma. She's a thing.
That's right. Here we go. July 14th. I want to thank all my Christian friends who believe in us. It seems the one with Jezebel spirits are the ones who insist we're lying. This is how it will be before Christ returns, or before Christ's return. People will believe in the liar, Satan, that he's the real Christ, and perform false miracles, and most people will believe his lies. Oh my. I pray to God, our Father, that you all will read what the prophets say and understand. So we need to read what the prophets say and interpret it in the same way that Don does, or we are wrong. See, that's what I don't like. I don't like that. There are so many different religions out there because there's one Bible, the Old Testament. It has been rewritten. It has been interpreted in many different ways. I'm not going to get into religion because I don't do that on my channel. But just because Don interprets the Bible one way does not mean that the rest of us are wrong.
Amen.
So I strongly disagree with this post.
Me
so
too.
You don't fall for the lies and lose your eternal life. Well, I can promise you I'm not going to lose my eternal life. Jesus loves me. Please don't trust anyone unless they are commandment keepers, and don't believe any church unless they fully adhere to the prophets. This is a great lesson for us all. Believe me, there will be no mistaking it when Christ returns. Love you all, and that's what Christ says. As I have loved you, love one I can't talk. As I have loved you, love one another, so I love you. Isn't that just peachy coming from Donald Wesley Wells?
Yes.
I mean, the hypocrisy is astounding.
It is. Because he is laughable.
Oh my gosh.
Are
we just supposed to believe him? He's not a commandment keeper.
No.
He is a major sinner.
Yeah.
Breaking those commandments. I mean, in so many different ways.
I will stick to my way of belief and not his. That he actually scares me in his and when he talks about that, how he talks about it.
Mm-hmm. Like I don't know. It's more than it's a different dimension. I feel like it's past the just the prison religion, like it's beyond that.
He reminds me a lot of Lori and Chad Daybell. They kind of talked like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of like just on a different mind thinking level. I mean, they were just like short of saying uh crazy.
Yeah. Well, and I watched, and that's funny that you say that. So Lori's been back in court here yesterday or today for her newest case where she's representing herself, and her son, or also she was interviewed on Dateline, and her son Colby Ryan has a channel, and I watch his channel. He reviewed some of the interview on Dateline and talked about it, and he basically said the best way I've heard it described is when Lori talks about things, when she blames Tylee for um, what happened to JJ, and she's said that that Tylee did that to JJ. Um, but we all know that's not true. Tylee was gone first, way before JJ. So he said that she is sharing her hallucinations. Like
Mhm.
she's not even speaking about any type of reality whatsoever.
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's how I feel hearing this post from Donald Wells. That's exactly how I feel. Like, where is this his reality?
Yep. Lisa K. Yep. He's a nut. Yep.
Well, sometimes you feel like a nut, and sometimes you don't. Don Wells is always a nut.
Yeah.
Yeah, delusional. That's a good
Yeah.
word too.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know
And
how they get to that way of thinking is the other scary thing. It's like, how did you get there?
right. And how did she meet somebody else that was on that same level of
Right.
psycho?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Chad's right there with her with completely
Yeah.
psycho.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he, I'm not going to say that, but I mean, he didn't have a whole lot going for
Oh, yeah.
him. Sorry, but I mean, I'm not a raving beauty, but I'm just saying.
He was an author, you know,
Okay.
and
All right then.
and have you ever heard his books? Have you ever read his books or heard
Nope.
them read?
Kind of scared too.
Oh, yeah, I would suggest never.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
I
Well,
I found a channel that read them, and I don't know if they still have those videos up or not. The channel went through something and they took a lot of their videos down at one time, so I'm not sure if they're still there or not. But
yeah.
I was blessed enough to listen to them when they were
Mm,
there,
okay.
and
I'll take your word. I'll just say I did and take your word for it.
there you go. The main takeaway was he was a very proud gravedigger. He took his job at the graveyard of digging the graves very seriously.
Well, I did hear that part. I did hear that part. That and I didn't realize he was a gravedigger until after, the case started and they were talking about finding Tylee and JJ, and then I you know, realized then he was a gravedigger and I was like, "Oh my goodness."
Mhm. Yeah, so they can blame all of it on Alex. They can blame it on Tylee. They can blame it on Joe Schmo. I
Mm,
don't care. The
right.
truth is the truth is the truth, and the jury has spoken, and they have been convicted, and shame on them. I
Yeah,
mean,
they'll never get out, thank goodness, to do
right,
that to somebody else
right.
or to teach it to do to somebody else.
That's what scares me about this trial that Lori's starting right now.
Mhm.
I didn't follow the case to a T as it was happening, so I've
Right.
been kinda trying to learn more about it recently,
Mm,
and, I feel like Lori's gonna make a spectacle at this trial. She's representing herself, and I have a strong feeling of Darrell Brooks
yeah.
about to happen.
Or who's the other one, the suitcase killer? What's her name?
Oh, Sarah Boone.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
The
Yeah,
last
when
thing I seen on Lori and Chad was I actually got to see the house demolished. I watched that. That was pretty cool.
well, that's cool.
Yeah, they demolished the house. Yeah.
See, I like watching Colby's channel because he found a voicemail right after Colby's brother and sister were taken off of this earth in living form and put back into the earth. And Chad called Colby and left him a voicemail. And to hear Colby explain it, it was crazy. Like, I mean, seriously, that level of psycho,
Mhm.
where he said something about, I saw that you were wearing a Kansas City Chiefs jersey, and then tried to bring up like sports talk. And Colby was like, how dare you try to contact me and think that we're just going to shoot the shit and talk about sports after you just took my siblings away from me, like, how
Right.
dare you?
Yeah.
Those weren't his words. He doesn't cuss, but
Right.
because that was ultimately what Chad was trying to do, like, hey, pal,
Yeah,
I'm
like it was
married to your
nothing.
mom. Right.
Yeah.
I'm married to your mom now, so let's get to be buddies, okay? Okay.
Nope.
And Colby was like, oh, no. Mm-mm.
I cannot, Chris, I cannot. I
Oh
can't
my
even imagine
gosh.
in the same prison.
I would not want to be a prison guard at that prison. Oh my gosh. And Dawn is so much alike. Like, seriously, now that you brought that
Yeah.
up, it's blown my mind
Mhm.
because when every time the Keith from Dateline would ask Lori a very direct question, she would talk in major circles to the point where he would have to ask the question again after her answer ended finally, okay, but did you, or why did you, or, whatever. And she would say, well, I know the truth. You don't know the truth. Nobody knows the truth but me. I was there. Were you there? You weren't there, Keith. Keith, were you there? No, you just
Mhm.
know what you read. You don't
Mm.
know. You weren't there. I was there, Keith. And then she made, anytime she did answer anything, it was a big circle talk of
Yeah.
everything that had nothing to do with the question. And that's exactly what Dawn does.
That's exactly what Proudfoot does too.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Anything to
Calling
avoid
Nate as
answering
a
it.
witness. Good luck with that.
Yep.
That's gonna be funny.
Yep.
Okay.
She's not going to be able to. Oh my gosh.
Mm.
There is a courtroom decorum, especially for attorneys. There is no way in hell that woman is going to be able to question the witnesses and follow that decorum. There's no way. I can see JJ's grandmother on the stand and her up there asking her questions and not getting the answer that she wants and
Right?
yelling at her or cutting her off or degrading her right there in the middle of the courtroom. I just feel it.
Mhm. She's gonna think she has a lot of power being her own, representing herself.
Mm, exactly. Yes.
She's going from not saying anything through her other trials to talking, doing nothing but talking now.
Yep. And she told Keith that she thinks that she and Chad both will be exonerated.
Okay.
Yep. Talk about a level of delusion that,
Okay. Okay.
there's a very few select people that are on that level. Letitia
Mhm.
Stout, Don Wells,
Mhm.
Chris Proudfoot.
Mhm.
And I'll stop there. In my opinion, allegedly, possibly,
Yeah.
maybe,
Could
okay?
be. Could be. Just our
That's
opinion,
right. That's right. Exactly.
not factual. Just our intuition.
Exactly. We're psychics. We're crazy, okay? Don't listen to anything we say.
That's right. That's right. We don't know nothing. We're not credible.
That's right. Exactly, Chris. Exactly. She doesn't have common decorum, let alone courtroom decorum.
Right. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. They try. Well, they're she's gonna they're gonna try Lisa Kay, but she don't listen to nobody. So I
Mm-mm.
doubt I doubt she follows it.
I seriously, that's why I'm feeling another Darrell Brooks.
Mhm.
Judge Doro did such a good job. Now, if you don't know Darrell Brooks, he's the one that drove the vehicle through the parade in
Yeah.
Wisconsin,
Yeah.
and he took out 6 people in the process and
Right.
injured so many others
Yeah.
and traumatized hundreds of others.
Yeah.
And he was also putting his hands on his girlfriend at the time, who he started dating before she was of age, and they had a child together. And yeah, he was like, he knew he had 6 um murder charges. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what he was facing
Mm,
amongst a whole bunch of other stuff. So he knew there was no possible way that he was going to get out of that.
right.
The evidence, the video evidence alone was enough to put him under the prison.
He was just
So
prolonging it.
exactly.
That's all he was
And
doing.
he did. And
Yeah.
Judge Doro did such a good job of making sure that he had never has a chance to appeal.
Letitia Stott's judge did good too. I don't know how in the world he managed to keep his self during her. I would have been
And
because
jumping over the bench.
yeah, she was sleeping. She was making faces. She was doing hand gestures. I was like,
She was flipping people off,
was covering her face with her hair. I was like, he was so, I was like, you're kidding me. I would be like chaining her to the table. I'd be putting a neck brace on her so she had to look up. I mean, I was like, oh my gosh.
put mittens on her hands.
Yeah, man, I would be.
But I think Lori's judge in this upcoming trial, I think that he's going to be the same way. You know, he's not
Yeah.
going to take any crap from her. He's
Mm,
going to keep her in line. He's a no nonsense type of judge, just from me seeing that one hearing that they just had.
yeah.
And there will be a camera in the courtroom. It will be live. It'll be a 1 to 2 minute delay, but it will be live. Court TV will be there, and they will share the broadband feed with other news agencies also. So we will get to watch this trial live as it happens.
Of course, she wants it to be live anyway.
Oh no, she didn't.
She didn't. I'm
She
surprised
didn't.
she didn't want an audience.
Mm, She even read what do they call it? The case something. What's it called? Where they go back and they say, you know, I object to the media being in the courtroom because I'm going to cite this case. And
Oh,
she
they'll
cited 2 different
reference.
cases.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why?
She cited 2 different cases that by having media in the courtroom, it made the jury bias.
Oh,
And he told her, the jury, we're already going to have trouble. They have 500 potential jurors lined up.
mm.
So he's prepared for her shenanigans, I think.
Yeah. Hi, Miss Smith.
Hi,
How are
Mrs.
you?
Smith.
You think yeah. I'm glad
Yep.
they make those special judges for those special people.
And
I'm so
Judge
I'm so
Beresky.
Bureski.
Beresky.
Well, they always got to have hard names to pronounce, and then we can't say them.
Right? Like, why can't it just be Smith? Mrs. Smith is easy. Judge Smith would be super easy. Or what about the one judge in Idaho 4? His name was Judge. That was
Hey,
super simple.
that's right. You wouldn't forget it.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're chasing
Okay,
squirrels again.
yep, we're chasing. Yep.
Okay, back to it. We're gonna get through this video. We
That's
only
right.
have 15 minutes left.
Okay, let it go.
Okay. Okay. I'm just, oh my gosh. I can't even. I'm sorry. Okay, and let's talk about this picture here for just a second. I brought this up in my last video. Why does this banner say pray for Summer Wells? And
Oh,
missing since 6/15/21 is very small. Why wouldn't they make Wells a little bit smaller and Call a little bit smaller and make missing a little bit bigger? I'm so confused by this pray for summer. And I still haven't been, nobody's been able to explain this to me. Why does it say pray for summer? Okay. I know we just said we were going to let it play,
That's okay.
but I know you wanted to talk about this also.
Yeah.
And I'm going to zoom it in so that we can see the banner better, because this still does not make sense to me why the banner would say pray for summer like that.
Right.
Can you guys see it in the chat? Chris said, go, ladies, go, ladies.
I mean, I get that they're asking for you to pray for summer. I get that. But it's like they could have put pray for summer's return, or just put missing. How about just put missing Summer Wells? And I can't read the middle. Is it how
It
tall she is,
says,
her age and how tall she is?
okay, so it's under Wells. It says age 5, 3 feet, 40 pounds, missing since 6/15/21 from Rogersville, Tennessee, and then call. And then the number is super tiny. Like, why? That's why I said, why wouldn't they make Wells smaller and
Smaller.
call smaller so
Yeah.
they can make this part bigger? Missing. I mean, I would see this and say, pray for Summer Wells. Okay, what's wrong with her? I'll pray
Right.
for her.
Like, yeah, you don't know that she's missing.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Missing is small.
Right. Just put missing Summer Wells. And if you want to
Yeah.
put pray in there at the bottom or something, but the whole layout is just weird.
Right. Like, I feel like the church made it.
Yeah. I'm sure they did. Yeah.
And that's why pray is so big instead of missing.
And you
being
don't
big.
even have to put call on there.
Right.
You just put the number. People know what you need to do. I mean, just put the 1-800-TBI.
Right. Well, Lisa K, it's not so much that it says pray for summer, but if you weren't close enough to read the fine print in the center or read the phone number to call, then like I would see it and think, okay, something's wrong with this girl.
Yeah.
One picture she has hair, the other picture she has no hair. So
Yeah.
does she have cancer?
Right.
Like
Right.
why am I praying for this girl? So
Yeah.
that's where I'm stumped on why the layout is like it is. Not so much that it is saying pray, but I think it should say missing up there, not
Right.
pray for.
Right. Right.
It's just so tiny in the center, and the phone number, like, the most important parts are the fine print.
Mhm. The most important part is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, you don't even have to put call on there.
Right.
People know. If you put the number where they obviously want you to call that number.
Yep.
I just think I think the whole layout is just, for me, it's just weird. I would have put
Right.
missing Summer Wells and then put her age and height and, call TBI because it does. It sounds like she's sick.
Right.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see. Okay, see, this makes it even worse. So everything is purple because, that's allegedly Summer's favorite color was purple. So I just Googled what do purple ribbons represent, and it says purple awareness ribbons represent a broad range of causes, including pancreatic cancer, epilepsy, Alzheimer's disease, lupus, DV, animal stuff, and more. So one of the first things is cancer.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought. I thought purple was for something cancer, excuse me. So that's what I would think. I mean, you see one picture of this girl with hair and another picture with no hair.
It is. I mean, and they should have the picture of her when she went missing.
Right.
Because you're not going to
No.
be looking for a little girl with hair.
Right. Well, that picture was put on there because that was Robin's favorite picture, allegedly.
Yeah. But that's not what she looked like when she went missing.
Right. And it's funny because the one picture is Robin's favorite picture. The other picture is a picture of Summer with Robin. Just saying.
Yeah. Really.
And
Yeah.
Lisa, it was just a general parade. It was not a parade for Summer. And they just so happened to be able to get into the parade with the banner.
I wasn't sure if it was just, I didn't think. I thought maybe it was for Summer, but I wasn't for sure if it was for her. But it's obviously in the summer because they have shorts on.
Right.
Was this during the vigil? Did they let these balloons go? Because they had balloons like this at the vigil too.
I don't know if they did a vigil after the parade. Possibly.
Yeah.
But I don't remember seeing Candace wearing that at any of the vigils. So
yeah, I can't remember this one. I couldn't remember. Yeah.
I'm going to try to Google and see if I can figure out what the parade was for.
Okay.
Okay, right here. It says, let's see. It was Friday's Fun Fest Parade.
Okay.
So it was in, let me see. Where's the date? It says 4 years ago. But I'm not seeing an exact date. But it says the mother of missing Hawkins County 5-year-old Summer Wells carried a banner in Friday's Fun Fest parade asking for tips in the search for her missing daughter. Summer's mother, Candace Bly, and Summer's Sabbath school teacher, Robin Lane, carried a banner that said, quote, "Pray for Summer," and featured photos of the missing child along with information and the phone number for Tennessee Bureau of Investigation's tip line. Summer Wells was reported missing from her home in the Beech Creek area of Hawkins County on the evening of June 15th. The TBI investigators have received nearly 1,000 tips so far, but none have led to a significant development in the case. Anyone with information on Summer Wells' whereabouts is asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND. And that's it. That's all.
Okay.
So it was the Fun Fest parade 4 years ago. Which we know it wasn't 4 years ago because of the date, but
Right. Yeah.
it doesn't have an exact date on it. So,
Yeah. Okay, ma'am, you can continue.
All right, here we roll. I think missing should be at the top in big, bold letters. Missing child. Just my opinion. What do you guys think? You tell me. Tell me your opinions. Now, see, this is very nice. Have you seen me? Summer, Moon, Utah Wells. 4 different pictures of her here with her hair different in each one. 5-year-old female, short blonde, hair, blue eyes, 3 feet, 40 pounds. Last seen in Hawkins County, Tennessee. Any info? Like, this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. I may have to start using this. Thank you, Angel. Okay, this is somebody else's post. And then they shared his post. Okay, I'm not going to read all that. And that's Jewels of Thoughts video right there. And you know what? I'm trying to find pictures. Somebody said that they had pictures of Candace at the vigil, and that's a tattoo on her arm, but it's not a bruise, it's a tattoo. If you have those pictures, could you please email them to me at spiritseekersquad@gmail.com? Okay, oopsie. So I made a video, a quick story here. I made a video and right before this where I had reviewed the 7-second video, the accidental video, and I zoomed in on a few things and I pointed out several things. And on Candace's right arm, on her forearm there, I thought that it looked like it was some type of bruise or bite mark because it was so blurry in that video. Come to find out, it's not a bruise. It's not a bite mark. It's a Playboy bunny tattoo. So I made the original video. Then I made a correction video showing the bunny in a clearer picture so that you could see. So I made another boo-boo. I'm good at owning my shit. You know, when I mess up, I own it. I'm not perfect. Okay, so that's what that was.
I was wondering what it was.
Do what?
I was wondering what it was too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so blurry.
Yeah, but it doesn't surprise me that's what it was.
Yeah, me either. Because, you know, she's a Playboy centerfold. Okay. All the bunnies have bunny tattoos. Just saying.
Yeah, just saying.
Picture of her at the vigil, but the news banner was at the bottom, and it's very hard to make out if it's a tattoo or not. I can see the shape. It almost looks like a Playboy bunny. But I want to be 1000% sure that it's a tattoo. Because in this video, it most definitely looks like a bite mark. And if I'm wrong, if it's not a bite mark and it is a tattoo, I want to correct my mistake. All right, I don't know who Stacy is, but she shared a lot of stuff to Dawn. Okay, one day ago. Well, how did my daughter's disappearance suddenly turn to all about my step family? Are they so greedy as to forget all about what this is all about? Okay, so this is in regards to his sister, Jeannie, I believe is her name, and her daughter, Trish. So now we get to hear a very little bit of his side. Did Trish even try to pay my dad back any of the $20,000 she borrowed? No, and never will. Did Jeannie mention to anyone about 12-year-old Ronnie when they first got together? Hell no. What? Deflection. You all have successfully managed to ruin my name time after time, make my dad hate me, and get me barred from the family for life. You all can have what's left of my dad. That's fine. You can't ruin me any more than you have. I'm sure you all will keep trying, though. You can have whatever's left. You've been milking money from my dad for years and didn't want me in the way. Well, I'll never even call my dad ever again. You can have it all, whatever's left. Liar. Okay, so Don thinks that this is all about money. He thinks that Jeannie and Trish are coming out about the essay that Jeannie says that she experienced as a child from Dawn because they want Dawn's dad's money. So that's his narrative that he's given us here. Okay. Alrighty then. Don't these psychics... And we later found out Dawn admitted to what happened between he and Jeannie. He said she was a 5-year-old and he was a 12-year-old, and it lasted for 7 years until she was 12 and Dawn was 19. He blamed it on Jeannie, saying that she was a 5-year-old who wanted it and who initiated it. Those are his exact words. I have the clip if we need to play it.
Yeah.
Don't even. I'm gonna hit play because I'm not even gonna get started on that one again.
Right?
Shit. Okay. Alrighty then. Don't these psychics fear God? No, I love God, and God loves me, Donnie. Donnie, listen. Attention. Donnie Wells. God loves me. And he loves you too. Don't ask us to allow them on our property. All right. And see, that's why I felt it necessary to share Juanita Louise's information a little bit. And I don't know what compelled me to open that other post from the Mike guy. Okay. And Mandy can be. Here we go. 17 hours ago. Sarcastic. I was in the deepest, darkest pit all the way out, and the Bible was laying there in the mud. I stepped on it a few times. I didn't dare open it. I was mad at God, but I allowed satanic forces to overwhelm me and overcome me and throw me down in this pit. There was no one that could help me. So I reluctantly opened the Bible, read a few things, and begged God, please help me to return where I once was, and he pulled me out of the pit. I asked him to please forgive me for being mad at him, for turning my back on him. It is not his fault that evil exists. I praise you, Lord, please forgive me. And also I pray for my brothers and sisters in Christ facing such challenges. Praise be always to the living God forever and ever. Amen. Okay. Does that not strike anybody else but me? Praise be always to the living God.
Yeah. There's
For
I want him. Yeah.
And we don't talk religion, so we're both biting our tongues so bad right now. Because this is not Dawn, the amazing Christian human being who is the commandment keeper and is just amazing and serves God on a daily basis. And oh my gosh, I know most of you in chat understand exactly what we're going through because you're doing the same thing, sitting on your hands.
Yep. Biting your tongue.
Good night, Wolfie. Sweet dreams. I agree, Chris. Chris is on it, man. Oh, good night, Chris.
Good night, Chris. Thank you for coming. We will be shutting it down here pretty soon. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you.
We're almost done. Less than 10 minutes.
Yep.
We don't even have to listen to my outro. I'm sure I babbled for an outro. So this must be about what he told Jay for Justice happened the other day before his boys were removed. He said that he gave in to Satan and he drank and there was an incident and that's why the boys were removed. So this must be his summary of what happened there. 9 hours ago. Now it is 3:43 a.m. on Monday, July 26th. I don't know if you can see that here at the top of my screen or not, but this was 9 hours ago. Just curious how many people know this. What is Satan's greatest tool? Ooh, does he give an answer? That was his last post. Okay, I'm going to have to look through the comments and see if he gives an answer. There's 813 comments here. I'm going to pause while I search. I found a comment. And I like the comment above it. Even the demons know scripture, but I think he uses fear and shame quite often. Amen, Wendy. Okay, so his answer, interesting. I believe it's lies. He deceives the world. Also, the 3 D's: deceive, divide, destroy. I want so bad to lash out, but for the sake of a few good people, I remain humble. Thank you. Somebody shared this in the comment section in response to his comment. What does it mean when a person is deflecting? Deflecting is a psychological defense mechanism that people use to take the blame off of themselves. When they are deflecting, they are trying to make themselves feel less bad for their wrongdoings. Now, there are a lot of comments on this post. Okay, this is, as I go through and read them, there are a lot of people that have Don's back. And then there are also an equal amount of people arguing with those people or coming at Don. And then there are people who are saying, let's bring the focus back to Summer. That's where the focus should be. Some people are asking about the boys. Are you in contact with them? Are you trying to keep communication open with them? I mean, there's a lot of different comments on this post. And this one here really stood out to me because this is something that I was getting ready to say when I go back to see. I want to see how many friends Don has on his Facebook page now. I personally did not send him a friend request. I don't need to be his friend. Why? Because he has his Facebook page open for the world. He made a post in my last video when I was going through everything and said he was going to make his Facebook page private. He never did. This person says, it's funny how people keep saying how he should block people, but he's the one who is sending out all of these requests. These posts are public for a reason, but all these wannabe God-fearing people keep drinking the Kool-Aid. Because when the truth comes out, man, I would love to see what you guys have to say. And it's pretty pathetic that someone is reporting comments, so let me stop before I get reported again, because grown-ass adults can't handle anyone disagreeing with them. And these are the very reasons why so many people turn away from going to church. I truly pray that God reveals the truth and everyone can see the wolf that is trying to hide under sheep's clothing. Okay, so he has his friends list private. I can't see it. I'm on the app. I don't have a computer or laptop or anything. I do everything from my phone. All my videos are from my phone. My whole channel is done from my phone. I have an old ass laptop that won't work. I can't even log into it. And that's it. So everything that I do on my channel is from my phone, apps, stuff like that. Now, if I would try to go into the desktop version of Facebook, maybe I could see more. But right here, it won't show me how many friends he has on his friends list. And he has their names set to private, which is a good idea so that they don't get attacked. So maybe that's what he meant when he said that he was setting his Facebook to private. He meant his friends list. But I heard, rumor has it, somebody said that he has around 1,600 friends. And when all of this started, he had like 3 things that were on his timeline. That was his profile picture, his cover picture, and something else. His Facebook didn't become active until Summer disappeared. And then that's when he started getting friends. And that's when he started making posts. So that's where Dawn Wells' Facebook page truly began.
Mm-hmm.
So that brings us back to the top. I'm going to refresh and see if there's anything new on here. And there's not. This is the last post 9 hours ago, the one that I just went through and read. So that's it. And there you go, an hour's worth of me reading this stuff to you instead of just playing it. You guys let me know what you prefer. And I think that that's enough. We don't have to listen to the last 2 minutes. That's just Mandy babbling. We did it. We did it. Yay,
Yeah.
we did it.
That's the first live we made it through a whole video.
I know. And I'll tell you what, that Mandy was very sarcastic, but in a funny way. And
Yes,
she was amusing to listen to.
yes, she's entertaining. I agree. She does a great job. She does a great job. So next week, I'm hoping to do a live on the 19th. Wednesdays seem to be easier for me, but we'll see. I don't want to put that in stone now because things change.
Right.
So, but hopefully then. And we'll go over the video that you sent me today. We'll go over that one.
Okay.
Okay. So it says 56 people in chat, which is awesome.
Woot woot.
While those people are here, I'm going to ask one more time. I ask twice, and I'm going to ask since it's the end of the live. I am going to how many of you want me to continue the coverage of Summer Summer's case. I was gonna do a couple of more live streams, but if you would like me to continue, I will. I'm sure I can do more than a couple. But if you'd like me to continue Summer's case for a little while longer, just put a one in chat. Say yes or put a one in chat and let me know how y'all feel about continuing Summer.
And I'll tell you what, I went through my playlist earlier and I sent Tammy enough videos that we probably have at least 6 weeks worth of content to cover.
Yeah, I mean the content's there. It's definitely there. Yeah.
And that's just the news interviews, fake Facebook post, and when Don first came to YouTube, he got on Cher's panel, and
Yeah.
so it's his first few panels on YouTube.
Yeah, because that's what we'll do the next week is Don's interview with Cher and Mark.
Right. That's no drama. That's no
No.
BS. That's, none of the deep dive conspiracy theory stuff. None
Right.
of that. It's
Right.
only the new stuff and Dawn on shares.
Right. Yep. Yep. And it'll be that's what we're going to go over next week. And it's a really good interview. I know we won't make it through the whole interview because it's over 2 hours. So we definitely probably have 4 streams and just that one, as many squirrels, as we have. But
Mm-hmm.
I do want to continue Summer's case. I was just interested in, what people that the subscribers and the people that come in and watch the lives if they're interested in that. So, oh, Aussie's back.
Welcome back, Aussie.
And most everybody that was in here earlier had said yes. They wanted me to continue with Summer's case. So, it's been what going on 4 years. And it's been so long that people probably have forgotten a lot of things. I know I did, and I followed it from the beginning.
Right, I have too. It's very interesting to go back and watch these very beginning videos. That's the first one that we've watched where I had my commentary in it, but that
Yeah,
was just because of the Facebook post.
right.
Now, I
Yeah,
do have a part 3 of the Facebook post also, which is the next chunk of the timeline on Don's Facebook. So I tried to put it all in chronological order and
mhm,
just read it from the bottom to the top to be up to date. So
yeah,
we have that also, so that can be tossed in there. Depending on how much you guys want of Summer. And
right. Yeah, yep, depending on, so I know we've got at least 2 or 3 more. And I know that Sebastian's been covered a lot, and in my opinion on covering, missing, especially true crime, missing children or missing people in general, is you can't cover them too much,
right,
you know. But I think that when they've been missing for a while, they just kind of get, I don't want to say forgotten, but a lot of it is forgotten because so much happens during the time that they're missing that you skip over, you just don't see stuff or you forget stuff. And then you go back and you're like, wow, I missed that, you know,
right,
or I remember that. And then and it just kind of like makes you, if you weren't sure, then when you go back through and you see everything that's happened, it kind of makes you be more sure of either which way you were thinking or not. It might change your view on what you think about the case, but I think it's important to go back over it.
absolutely. I think it's very helpful. Not only is it bringing her face and story out to people who followed the case, but it's also introducing her to people who didn't follow her case.
Right.
And that always, both of those always get me excited because it's interesting to hear what other people think about things that we have forgotten, and they bring it, I mean, just like the horse stables catching on fire, like
Right.
things like that.
Yep.
So, and then the new people who haven't learned about the case yet, they are so intrigued by all of the crazy things that seem to go in. Like we live it. One day on YouTube is like a week of real life.
Yeah. Yeah.
It happens
Yeah.
so quickly.
Yeah.
And so reviewing it like this, we have time to pay attention more and focus on each thing happening instead of, blowing through it to get to the next big news, because
Yeah.
it was like constantly something else was coming out. Dawn was saying something dumb, or Candace was doing something dumb,
Yeah.
or, like it was just constantly something.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a lot. There's a lot mixed in there. Like I forgot about the horse stables. Actually.
Yeah, I did too. Good night, Mrs. Smith.
Good night, Mrs. Smith. Thank you.
And hi, Mary.
Mary said one. She wants to hear more about summer too. Good. So that is going to be our live for tonight. I thank everybody for coming. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. I do appreciate y'all hanging with us for 3 hours and 46 minutes and 22 seconds.
And troopers, I'm telling you,
That's
troopers.
right. That's
Make
right.
sure you go smooch the thumbs up too. We got 53 still in chat, and there's only 37 smooches on that thumbs up. So whoever is sitting here that hasn't smooched it yet, go give some smooching.
We're going to shake them bushes.
That's right.
And
Wiggle,
Mandy,
wiggle, shake, shake.
you have a live, and your live is going to be Friday night, correct?
Correct. And I don't think that I'm going to cover summer on Friday. I think I'm going to take a break
Okay.
because there are a couple other things that I want to talk about. And then next Friday, we'll be back on summer
Okay.
and the timeline. So we'll pick right back up where we left off last Friday in the timeline.
Okay. So y'all go over to Mandy's Spirit Seeker Squad. Go over there Friday night. I'll be over there. She runs
Absolutely.
hers a little later because she puts her grandbaby to bed, and she does it after she puts her grandbaby to bed. So we will be over there hanging out and going to bed with the chickens. Getting up with the chickens. That's what we'll be doing.
All right.
Make sure you check out Mandy's. So good night, Lisa. Thank you for coming and
Good night,
helping with
Lisa.
information, putting it in chat. We appreciate you. Yeah.
Well, I was going to hop down so you could say your goodbyes, but did you want me to stay up
Yeah, you can
to
just
try to
stay up
figure
here.
that
Yeah,
to figure the overlay out?
yeah, you can just stay up here. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll mute and let you say your goodbyes, and I'm going to say goodbye now, and I'll say, may you have the kind of day that karma feels you've earned, and until next time, I love you all bunches, and I'm muting out. And thank you, Tammy, for having me on panel.
Thank you for being up here and running it for me.
Absolutely. Anytime.
All right, everyone. Thank you for staying with us to the wee hours of the morning. I do appreciate y'all. Come back and we'll talk about summer next week. Go see Mandy Friday night. She'll have a live Sunday. I believe Cher is going to be live. So go over there and check out. She might have it posted already. I think she does. And check out her live on Sunday. And check out Miss Eve's channel. Check her out because she just started her channel. Lisa Kay has a channel. Woman Warrior has a channel, and Mandy put her stuff in there earlier. So you might have to scroll back and get her information. But I do appreciate everyone. I do hope y'all have a great rest of the night and the rest of the week if I don't see you Friday. And please remember, be kind to everyone, everywhere, and especially be kind to yourself. Good night. Love y'all. Bye.